Wow.
Well, if you don't mind, let's just be.
What?
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
I was going to say, if you don't mind, we maybe hold it off a little bit because I want to test this.
oh, okay. Well, Arturo hit live
Oh,
just
I
about the
hit
time
live.
Colin
Oh,
popped
okay.
in. Hi, Colin. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. Good to see
You
y'all.
have given
Hey.
us so much laughter over the past month because Arturo made a short out of that. Your little rant about the carbonated
soda
soda.
I'm glad someone I can share with. Otherwise, it's just me ranting to the air.
Oh, it was hilarious. We had so much fun.
There's Logan.
Looks like Logan. You gonna add him?
Yep.
Guess who's at work?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot
Logan.
he's at work. Logan, you're gonna get in trouble.
Ooh.
Are you're on the Cinemark network?
I'm on the No, I'm on my data.
Oh, that's why it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a chaotic start already.
Well, we have someone
Arturo,
working
Arturo, we need you to be here. It's really busy.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
That's right. I keep forgetting. It's Oh, hey,
It's
Drew.
Memorial Day.
What was the movie this weekend? Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Right? That's big.
Yeah, that's been busy.
And
he's coming.
Oh, Kandahar too, but that didn't do any. I don't think that.
Ooh, it's Arturo's podcast. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Look at DJ.
Hi, DJ.
Y'all gonna get in trouble,
Are you
Logan.
gonna stream this whole podcast at work,
Sorry.
Logan? Come
Sorry,
on.
Colin.
Was it like really busy because of Little Mermaid?
Hold on, let me put my phone up.
It's probably mostly because of Little Mermaid, but there's also Guardians is still doing pretty well, I think.
He's literally
Hey,
literally on
Jason.
a live podcast while at work.
You finally did, yeah. We just got started. We're not organized or professional right now at all. Not that we ever are. Or organized and professional.
No, we're talking about 2014.
Yes,
And
this
then-
is the discussion.
Arturo, I'm on Trash Movie.
Some people haven't shown up yet.
Oh wait, so we're gonna see you do trash while we're talking about movies. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. You're talking about all the trash movies.
I mean, I don't know if there's really a lot of trash movies of this.
All right,
year.
guys, I'm gonna make my first worst take of the day. Interstellar is the worst movie to come out in 2014.
I wasn't too thrilled with that movie myself.
No, I was kidding. I like the movie is good.
I'm not crazy about it. I wasn't crazy about it. I was a little disappointed in it. Yeah, it just it's
with
not anything.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway.
It's a good
Christopher Nolan movie. I think it's a good movie, but it's a little too serious for me. It's sad and serious.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
It's not one of my favorite Nolan movies, but like,
at least it's understandable.
Whenever like they're on the water planet and the waves are coming, that's a great
Yeah.
I only saw bits of whatever Sin was watching at the time.
I saw it once. I don't remember a ton about it, just that I wasn't as in love with it as I was hoping I would be.
Mm-hmm.
So
wasn't that Christopher Nolan movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love is a power that transcends time and space is also what Colin says when he's burying the bodies.
It's also what
it's not.
It's what Colin says when he's burying the bodies.
I was wondering how soon it would be before we came around to Colin
right
burying the bodies.
Oh wait, Colin's still a
Right
serial
away.
killer.
That's way too much. That's way too much work.
Oh, we
The
lost.
whole grave.
Logan, one of the managers found him, and he's in trouble now.
Ha!
I have no idea. It's just he shouldn't be doing that while he's working.
I'm gonna go through the list here.
Yeah, the list of
I'm
top.
just going through like worldwide. I mean, in America, it's a different like top 10. But
yeah.
So number one, surprisingly, but I guess if you count China, Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely looking at a different list. Hold on, I need to find this. I need to go back. Oh, okay, I see what happened. No, I see what happened. Yeah, you know what? That movie ended up becoming at the time the 10th highest grossing film ever. I think that's what it says. Yeah, it says it grossed more than 1.1 billion, becoming the 10th highest grossing film of all time. It's not anymore, but wow, that surprises me.
Yeah, they were kind of like Marvel before Marvel. Although this was the age of Marvel. But
there's a lot of blockbustery big sort of franchise films in the top 10. Most of them are franchise films, like those, series,
Well, I've never seen
sequels.
this is like the fourth one, right?
Gosh, I don't know. Is this one with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
I saw it in passing. Don't remember a thing about it, but I am going to go see the one about the beast that's coming out.
Is that the one with the weird Texas law about underage sex for some reason?
The Age of Extinction?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's the one where I think it's Mark Wahlberg, and he has a daughter and their boyfriend.
I think that maybe.
And at some point in the movie, they, for some reason, explain a Texas law about underage sex, that it's okay if if both people are underage.
I think that is right.
That's weird.
I think that is
interesting.
Right.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all. Boy, that made impression on you, Simon.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are we talking about this? It's a fucking Transformers movie.
Yeah. Well, when I go back to
I don't remember that
one, when I go back to the second one with some of the scenes, some of it was like showing humping and all that. I'm like, oh.
In the second movie?
Yes. In the second movie.
Wait, where?
There was two dogs doing it, and
then the dogs.
That crazy Transformer was like humping a leg.
I remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not remember that until I saw a clip of it again. It's like, okay, I get why it's not that it's good.
It was just too long. The best one, in my opinion, is the first one.
one.
Now, I've been hearing that this latest one is like supposed to be actually really decent. And some people are saying it's the best one ever. I disagree with that. I haven't seen it, but I disagree already.
First one's always going to be the best.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, for some reason, I just had this feel. I've had this feeling about movies before, and I've been wrong. So we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully,
and the second one was the last Hobbit movie.
The final Hobbit.
Oh, that was the final. Yeah, the final one. Yeah,
which was another long movie.
Yeah.
I think those movies they just did. I was disappointed. I think they tried to make them too much like Lord of the Rings.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course they did.
Meant to. That's not what Hobbit was all about. Like,
yeah.
So they felt forced to me.
I agree. I wasn't a huge fan. I think they should have just made one long film.
Yeah.
They could have made a 2.5, 3 hour film, and I think that would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Than the long one, the trilogy that we ended up with.
Mm-hmm. But the actress in there.
I didn't remember that. Sorry, Arturo. Go ahead.
That actress from Ant-Man and the Wasp was in there.
Yeah,
she
was. Yep. Hobbit was intended to be 2 parts, but then they stretched it, and I don't think it should have even been 2. I just always remember, like, Lord of the Rings. Are those are 3 separate books, right?
Yeah.
Because I've never read them. Okay, so.
Mm-hmm. And the Hobbit is one short one.
Hobbit is one book. It's not super long. So I never thought that was a good idea. I just.
Yeah, it was a money idea. It really
of course.
Milking it.
Yeah.
They wanted another.
And the quality suffered, in my opinion, as a result.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. They usually mostly use CGI for every enemy in there, I think. Because back then, I think like with Lord of the Rings, it was like practical effects.
Well,
Except for some scenes.
There was some CGI, but yeah, like the orcs and stuff were real, weren't they? In Lord of the Rings, they were real people.
Yeah, they were.
So some of the massive scenes with the massive armies, because this is how long it was. I remember reading on like the internet movie sites, 22 years ago, 23 years, like in 2000, where they were like, they had the, new Weta technology they're using for these massive crowd shots to have, like huge armies that look like they're real. And, now that's in every movie and you never think about it. But I remember being like back then reading about the special effects, like, oh, it's so new and so good. And yeah, now it's just...
That was the days of pop culture.
I would be failing that quiz too. I just have to say.
Oh, Ben was
actually
such a big Lord of the Rings buff.
What's that, Simon?
I actually know a historian who is obsessed with Lord of the Rings as well. He was actually at DragonCon with you guys. He was doing panel on, was it Riders of Rohim or something like that?
Okay.
It's Rohan. No, not Rohan. It's
It might be
Rohim or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's from the same people as the ones who did Blade Runner. Black Lotus, is it?
Oh yeah, Black Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Oh, the new movie they're making, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the show or movie. Yeah, the animated Riders of Rohim. Yeah. That could be cool. I'm interested in that. It's totally different.
So I think Jason
Rohirrim, that's it.
is looking at the
because they're in the movie. They're
looking at the American.
No,
maybe that's his list.
Maybe Jason is listing his favorites because the list he's putting up isn't matching with worldwide or American. So maybe I'm sorry, Jason. I'm just assuming that's what you're doing.
Number 3.
Well, if the Grand Budapest Hotel is all the way down at number 8, then the list is wrong.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. It's exactly.
Not,
I think these are his favorites.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
His favorite list is wrong.
Guardians of the Galaxy is number 3.
Yeah, that was.
Can I answer that? Because I read the books before the movie, and I remember 15, 16-year-old me being like, I can't wait to see how they do Tom Bombadil in the movie. He was like my favorite side character in the books, Tom Bombadil. And it was a bummer that he wasn't in the movies. I understand now because it was really just slow and nothing action happens. But he's like this magical forest dude, and it's just kind of funny. Yeah. I love Tom Bombadil in the book. I was really bummed out he did not make the movies. And I don't even remember who Goldberry is in the movie. Maybe that was one of his friends or something.
Was Tom Bombadil the character in The Hobbit? Was that him they showed in the forest? There was some forest guy in. Okay, I
all saw those movies once. I don't think so. But no, he was in the first movie. He was in Fellowship, but it was just really slow. It was like there was already a slow start. It would have added to that.
So it's definitely people noticed that he was missing.
Colin, left a little link for you in the private chat.
Okay.
So a little fact I know about Lord of the Rings is because I saw two of the Hobbit actors talking. I think it was Merry and Pippin, whoever the actors are called. And they were saying because it's PG, they could have got away with one fuck. They
could have?
Fuck. Yeah, the same couldn't say the word fuck once throughout each movie.
Wait.
And they were joking about where to put it.
PG or PG-13?
Oh, PG-13, sorry.
Yeah, because that's not allowed in PG films.
Yeah.
But PG-13, yes, they're allowed one.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
So it could have been like, give me the fucking ring, precious.
Nice.
Anyways,
Guardians
of the Galaxy is number 3 on the list.
That was surprisingly fun movie, and I love that part about Kevin Bacon. And I have not watched the Christmas special.
And also Drax the Destroyer. I mean, come on.
Drax, oh my gosh, that guy.
I love Drax. That was like a really fun surprise to see in the theater.
Yeah, and I'd never really heard of them before.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of them, and I loved Marvel as a kid, and so that was I didn't know what to expect.
I really liked the whole.
You're actually relatively new. They wouldn't have been around when you were a kid.
Wait, really? No.
When did they come out?
I think so.
No, they rebooted them. I think they rebooted it around the time the movie was coming out.
I just like that, like Wild West sort of space Star Wars adventure with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Kind of like Firefly.
It ended up being my favorite of all my Marvel movies, and I was
really
let down by the third one I saw. It's the only one I saw them all in the theaters, and the third one I saw recently, and I was like,
Oh, really? I enjoyed that one more than the second one. Yeah. I liked it a lot. Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like them all, actually. I feel like I need to rewatch them again.
I think it was a little long. I think a lot of the emotional scenes, especially with Rocket, they could have cut out. Some of the others, I think they could.
Oh, but that was the heart of the story, Colin.
Colin, what?
I was wincing.
Colin.
Oh, so was I. It was terribly sad.
Well, I was wincing. I was cringing.
You were cringing?
Yeah.
Oh, Colin, you need to go to the corner, man. This is I will not tolerate
It's
this.
okay. It's all
Also,
right.
the
Everybody's
Warlock
views are
character
welcome.
The Warlock character was just unnecessary.
He
It felt
was
like
underutilized.
it was really too long. It could have been 90 minutes. It was 2.5 hours, and it could have been. I would have liked the 90-minute version.
Oh.
And you were right. The original Guardians of the Galaxy are from 1969. However, the rebooted team, the one we know, are from 2008.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's.
Okay.
remember reading. I
So
remember
they
seeing
had very
pictures of,
recently
like, the
rebooted
old
it.
Covers.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone heard of this movie that Dulcimeris mentioned? Space Station 76?
No.
Let me see.
Uh-uh.
No, I don't. Okay. All right. Sorry, Arturo. Go ahead.
Magnificent?
No, Maleficent.
Maleficent. Okay.
Yeah.
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Fairy
Yeah.
tale.
That's number 4.
That's
Never
crazy that was such a that's in the top 10.
That was maybe in the early days of these live action Disney things.
I guess.
Around there.
Now we're in Little Mermaid, but I feel like that was one of the first times they did that.
Angelina Jolie.
Well, when did they do Cinderella? Because I thought Cinderella was the first one. Was it
I
not?
don't remember.
Well, this
2015.
2015. Okay, but Maleficent wasn't a remake of anything. It was just
it's kind
A
of
prequel.
yeah,
associated with the
right.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah.
Right. So even it wasn't like an actual remake, but the first like live action kind of thing. But yeah, it was kind of like
Yeah, it was the first.
Jason,
No,
your
Alice in
list.
Wonderland was the first, and then
Alice in-
Maleficent.
Oh yeah, Alice. in
Okay.
Wonderland.
Wait. That's from.
Technically,
Technically, if you go right back, it's 101 Dalmatians. That was the first.
90.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. The mid 90s.
90s, yeah.
I did like that movie, but Jason, your list is not wrong. Simon's just yanking your chain.
No, what's wrong? This is not my list. So what's wrong?
Well,
Oh,
Simon, you
okay.
just gotta
All
go in
right.
the corner. Gotta go in that
Tom
corner.
Lombardi was not the hub, and I did not miss him in the movies mostly because I didn't watch them. Not surprising, given that I have a Fahrenheit 451 knowledge of the Tolkien. Okay, same. I've never read or listened to the books. I've heard how great they are, but there's something kind of almost daunting or overwhelming about the thought of tackling them. Almost reminds me of how the thought of starting to listen to another, Game of Thrones book feels, because those are some long ass books with a lot of characters, and also because it was written so long ago, I feel like I wouldn't like the style of writing too much.
Oh, I don't know. I think old writers are more interesting anymore because, like, for instance, I just started reading H.P. Lovecraft. So I've never read H.P. Lovecraft, and man, like, they write so much better. People back in the day, like, the vocabulary was so much better. Like, I really think a lot of young people wouldn't even be able to get through like one of these short stories. Like, it's just such a wide range of words that he uses, and it really makes the description
Feels like you need a decoder ring.
Yeah. All the different ways you can, all
Say
different
things.
slurs for other races.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft was super racist.
Oh, was he really?
Oh, was it?
I don't
Yeah.
know a
Oh,
thing
that's
about him. Just know his name and that he wrote like sci-fi weirdness.
damn it, Simon. Says, tell me when I'm done. That sucks. Now I'm like, because these are really good stories. They're really well written. I really enjoy them. But
I've never
I
read.
don't.
I've never read.
'Cause
not
it's
one of
all
his
like-
books.
And then the scary thing came, and like I can't even fucking describe it. It's just really scary, and that's basically cosmic horror.
I mean, that is it. But the whole, in a sense, though, that's it and that's not, because in a sense it's how he describes it. So it's like he does this whole thing that's, instead of saying it was scary, he uses so many words, and it really
All these big words,
he
these
really,
fancy
it really
words,
sets a mood and a tone.
a lot of word salad. Is that what
I
it
think-
is?
I've read like 3 of these short stories. I think they'd be great on film. Like, oh man, they're really good. It just, this creepy mood and tone that it's, even without like a monster or killer running around, you're just like, fuck, this is bad. Like, I like that.
Have you seen Color Out of Space?
That's the story I just read. Did they make a thing about that?
Yes,
With Nick
it
Cage.
has Nicolas Cage, and I hated that movie
Is it bad?
so much.
That story is awesome.
I thought it was alright.
You
For an
might
H.P.
like.
Lovecraft adaptation.
Oh
I
gosh,
might
I
have to
couldn't
see
stand
it.
it.
The story is awesome.
It was
There's
so
also-
crazy.
John Carpenter's. It's not strictly a H.P. Lovecraft movie, but it's inspired by it. In the Month of Madness.
I'm waiting to get to that story. I've heard that a lot.
Is that the one with Sam Neill in it?
Sam Neill, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I don't remember much about it, but I've had it playing multiple times,
I can't believe
and I couldn't tell you. I just know that infamous scene of him in the bus screaming. That's used a lot in videos.
Is that Nick Cage movie old or new?
No, it's fairly
relatively
new.
recent, like 2019 or something.
Yeah,
It sucks.
I did
it's
it.
like, man, they shouldn't even try to make it if they can't do it right. And I can imagine.
Well,
it being
Colin,
adaptation.
your mileage may
Yeah.
vary. It was just too out there and ridiculous for me. I just did not like it at all.
Did anyone watch the Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix?
I haven't yet, but I've heard it's good.
One of
forgot
those
about that.
stories, it's pretty good. And one of those stories, is it with Crispin Glover, who's a cool actor?
Did he finally make The Mountains of Madness?
It wasn't the Mountains of Madness. It was
Because I know he's been dying to make that for years.
Oh no, I didn't know that. It's a different one. It's about a painter, and he plays this painter. But it's really well done. And having not even read Lovecraft at the time, I think it's pretty good in tone, capturing that creepiness. But yeah, the Cabinet of Curiosities, I recommend that. I think it had a number of good, scary short stories.
That's an anthology.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
I've been meaning to get around to it, just haven't. What's that, Simon?
I've posted some test footage for Guillermo del Toro's Mountains of Madness in Discord.
Mm-hmm. I will have to check that out.
So number 5.
Sorry, Arturo. Carry on.
Number 5 is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Yep, that's the last one you'd worked up to. So now the next year will be the first time you've seen the last film.
And it takes a different approach. So the first 2 movies were forcing them to play a game. Now this is more of the rebellion.
Yeah, and this was another instance where they
Split the
unnecessarily made one book into 2 movies. They did not need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I felt like this movie dragged more. I mean, I liked it. I still liked it, but I felt like it was draggy, and you could tell they were just really trying to just pull as much time out of it as they could.
I mean, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Even if they did the whole split. That was like the last one I saw in movie theaters. Skipped out on the other one.
Oh, Taken 3 was this year. I forgot.
Oh.
Wait, unless he's just listing different. I'm assuming that he's talking about 2014.
So.
Arturo, there was another Liam Neeson movie that I completely forgot to put on our list to watch, which was Nonstop. It's one of those typical Liam Neesons. But,
Ever since I learned about that little factoid with Liam Neeson, all I can think about is Schindler's Piss.
that's how you talk about it. Kiki's Delivery Service is not the only. Like, they've recently done a live action stage something for what was it? Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
Yeah, that was playing at your theater.
Yeah. Number 6.
Hey,
is
Tariq. Good.
X-Men
How about you?
Days of Future Past.
Yep.
I really
like
enjoyed
that
that
movie.
one. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite X-Men movies.
I like time travel movies, so I really.
And it was nice to
enjoyed
see
how
Hugh
they-
Jackman again as Wolverine.
Oh yeah, of course.
Number 7, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Love that movie. My favorite MCU movie.
Right. That's why I thought that was your favorite.
Yep.
That's like one of the most serious ones.
It was such an improvement over the first Captain America, and I was really, really happy. The one thing I didn't like was when I went into it, because I had never read the story of Bucky, and so I didn't know. But they were playing the trailer. I would never let my brother live this down. They were playing the trailer one time, and in the movie theater, and my brother Tim said, "You know who the Winter Soldier is, right?" And I thought he meant the actor. And I said, "No." And he said, "That's his friend Bucky." I was like, I didn't know it was Bucky. He said, everybody knows that. I didn't know that. So I went in knowing I would have liked to have been surprised because I had no knowledge of that material.
You would have been one of the few people.
I would have been one of the few people. It's true, but I would have enjoyed that surprise. But
well, I mean, that would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been a fun experience. But yes, I agree. It absolutely is, in my opinion. I just love the dynamic between Steve and Bucky and the brainwashing that Bucky was kind of fighting against. And also that it felt like it got more political than some of the other movies with regard to, government overreach and intrusiveness and all of this stuff going on. I thought it was great. I loved it. And I love the soundtrack. I love the action scenes. I love that chase scene with Samuel L. Jackson when he gets caught.
Cornered by the...
I loved that. I thought that was so well done because it was very tenseful for me.
Very tenseful.
I was tense.
Yeah. Jesus, this is tenseful. I remember the one emotional scene was when he was talking to his past girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty touching because she forgot a little bit of something.
Yeah, she was older, and I think that they had digitized her, right?
When they were doing digitization on.
Yeah, and I thought it looked really good on her. I thought they did a really good job on that.
And now she's gonna be with Tom Cruise in Impossible.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Edge of Tomorrow is a great movie. We haven't talked about that yet.
We will get to that though. Finishing up the last 3 movies on the list: Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That one was also good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that one ape had to cause so much division.
Koba, the troublemaker, I swear.
Yeah. Koba, you bastard.
I know. Anyway, but interesting side story, because I looked up the actor who played Koba. I think it was the actor who played Koba. And I saw this place where it said he went to school. And I'd never heard of this school before, so I looked it up. Hey, D. You want to let D in?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's taken me literally since 8 to try to get in. It's been...
D, you have had so much trouble with
we didn't even coordinate. Me and D.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, bottom line is, I'm going to reach out to that school and see if they have some good voice talent. Maybe we could invite to Sound Booth Theater because they have online audiobook training classes.
Wait, you're talking about the guy that did
the school that the Koba actor went to? I think it was him. We were talking about Planet of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, we were going through the top 10 worldwide.
I actually think that trilogy is one of the more solid trilogies.
Oh yeah,
around.
Yeah, it's great. I remember when the first was Rise. I think Rise was the first one, and I remember kind of thinking oh, okay, this looks interesting. And but I was you never know how some of those pan out, and I feel like if you're going to do a reboot, kind of jumpstart franchise again, I feel like that's the way that you do it. So yeah, I've really enjoyed all 3, and they got progressively deeper and darker and just more
better.
Yeah. Just the acting, I can't get over the visual, how excellent the motion capture of his face was, and how expressive, and all these individual personalities you could see through all the different of the variations.
He was pretty
or whatever.
He was pretty menacing in a sense, but
Caesar looked badass. You didn't want to mess with him at all, but
then also, Koba had to screw up everything.
Koba was such a little shit.
Bastard. He's a bastard.
And I forgot. I thought that it was the humans. I had forgotten the details, but really it was Koba. It was Koba that pushed everything.
And what's that actor's name?
Which actor?
The human that was trying to.
Oh, the guy who played in Terminator, Dark Fate.
Oh,
yeah. not Dark Fate. Genesis.
No.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I always thought he was the villain in this one, but kind of not really a villain. He just Koba did what he did, and it got him started on.
Yeah.
And still good. He's still such a good actor.
He is.
Yeah,
we
Gary
saw
Oldman
him.
actually played every role in that movie. He's such a good actor.
I know, that's how good. I believe it. I could totally believe it. We saw him for the first time in True Romance a few weeks ago when we were visiting with my cousin Corey, and he was. I couldn't get over his performance.
Wasn't he like supposed to be mimicking?
He was like a gangster guy, and he had these dreads, and he was walking around in his underwear. And did he have like gold teeth or something?
Yeah, the grill.
Yeah, but he didn't sound like Gary.
He didn't even sound like himself. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
And you know, it's funny because a few years later he would play in Air Force One, totally different character, and then he plays in The Fifth Element. Sounds like Southern, and then whenever he gets mad, he's just like,
he is such a versatile actor. I just
and even in
love
here
him.
too, like when he was looking at pictures when the power came back on, his emotion,
his family, he's looking at an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so good,
great movie. I really, I have so much more of an appreciation for those movies when I rewatch them, as opposed to the very first time I saw them years ago. I mean, I always liked them, but I really enjoy them so much more, I feel like.
Which movies are we talking about now?
The Apes movies, Planet of the Apes. This was the second one, Dawn, and the last one is
Wasn't that Timothy's favorite, right?
This one is Timothy's favorite, yeah.
I think they're great movies, but they're misnamed. That's what I hate about them.
What do you think?
Because it always confuses me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, because it's Rise.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet
first,
of the
and then
Apes.
Dawn.
It should have been Dawn, War, and then Rise.
Yeah. Well, but by the time the third one came out, they had already risen, Simon. They were already up there.
Yeah.
Like by this movie, it does feel like this movie should be Rise, and the first one should be Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I do get them mixed up myself.
Yeah.
But they're just so good and so realistic, the portrayal of. Well, you know, remember when we were watching it, Arturo, at the beginning? Some of the parallels to what had been happening the past couple. Holy crap! It's like,
I was gonna say that definitely the kind of the post-credit ending of Rise at the airport. And you show the credits and you show I was like, oh yeah.
And then at the beginning of the second one, it shows like all of the upheaval and the destruction and the overreach and the tyrannical behavior of governments to crack down on this pandemic. You know, it's just it's like, holy crap! It felt like this movie was telling the future,
like ahead of its time.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, I was just telling Arturo, it just feels like humans generally behave certain ways, and
well, I mean, if you look at
necessarily hard.
I mean, if you look at Fear of the Walking Dead,
that's kind of the way things would go.
Right.
Yeah, like well, I mean, if you also look at Fear of the Walking Dead, it was like that.
Yeah,
like
but
how the military ended up kind of getting a little too totalitarian.
They came through and they were yeah. Anyway,
but
do you think Planet of the Apes is a racial allegory?
Do you think?
Well, I just Googled it to see if anyone else thought that, and apparently, yeah, people think that.
Oh, okay.
The remake?
Yeah, and I was going to say, I totally agree with Jason. I don't understand why that's not like some kind of category in the Oscar. I've never understood that. I've said that for the longest.
Motion capture and stunt performances.
Yeah.
They need to be made Oscar categories. Yeah. I agree. He's such a great motion capture artist.
Yes.
But he can also act phenomenal too with that.
I will say this though. The originals were better.
Oh. I can't. Are you teasing? You have to be teasing.
No, he's a hipster.
Yeah, I can't get past the fake looking. The face. So you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of.
I haven't seen the originals as an adult. I thought they were crazy as a kid.
Can I just play that video sin of you?
What? Why?
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Okay, Archer.
Oh my gosh.
that was one of my rants about Halloween Ends, and Arturo plays that thing ad nauseum.
It's so beautiful. You know, when I was editing that review, I listened to it and I'm thinking, I feel like I need to spice it up a little bit because the way she's doing that is like, okay, that's funny, but what would happen if I slowed it down? And I'm like, oh, this
You
is
get my rage in slow motion. What was I even saying, Arturo? You went and threw me off my narrative.
About the original Planet of the Apes. You just thought it was
because of the mask and all that.
I can't get. It reminds me too much of how terrible the masks and costume looked in Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh God!
Like like it's just like these just look like humans running around. Like it's not convincing, even though they really were supposed to be Pooh and Piglet. It was just so cringe. And the little I've seen of the original Planet of the Apes, it looks equally cringe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I like it conceptually because I think the idea of it is interesting, obviously. But it also got ruined because on every single DVD cover or any image for it, it would show Planet of the Apes, it would show one of the apes' faces, and then it would show the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
So, I don't know what my expectation was going into it, but when they kind of have the big reveal at the end, although it is interesting, it's like I never had a chance to think that this was anything else, but like, oh, it kind of got ruined for me.
Right.
I was like, why would you do that? I didn't get that.
Right. Yeah, it's like, and that's interesting. I didn't even think about that, but probably most people know the twist at the end.
Right. I've never seen the original, though.
That's a huge giveaway, though, that they would put something like that. Were you watching it the whole? Okay, so when you went into it, did you think the whole time, oh yeah, we're just on Earth, or did you think, now how's he going to get back to Earth to see the Statue of Liberty?
It was, yes, I'm saying I was a little in between because I think that probably is what kind of threw me off the scent initially because I was kind of like, well, maybe I'm wrong about this and this isn't quite what I think, because I can't be. Because we remember what they did in the Tim Burton version that got dragged by everybody and how they did the whole Lincoln.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
that's right.
So I could have easily seen something like that happening, but then when I saw it, I was like, oh, like it was still, like I said, not to say that the impact was completely gone, but it was a little different from what I thought as far as us seeing the ending and it being this big moment. I was like, why did y'all ruin this for me?
Yeah, that wasn't very smart.
That is like an example of a great, a classic movie twist, though.
Yeah.
That people still remember. It was Earth the whole time. Like,
Number 9 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I have not seen that one.
Never seen it.
Pieces.
What's that, D?
No, I was saying I still haven't seen. I've only seen bits and pieces. I haven't seen or the first one. Actually, when they came out, it was just like this feels so close to Spider-Man 3. I thought it was so soon to be rebooting. Not that I was like, oh no, how dare they? It's just that I never.
It did feel kind of soon, didn't it?
I only saw the first one out of Andrew Garfield's trilogy.
So
this
wait
one
a second. So I saw this on the big screen. Who did I see it with?
Did you see it on the big screen? No, I think we saw the first one on the big screen.
No, we did see the first one, but I was pretty sure I saw this one on the big screen.
I don't think I ever saw this one.
With one of my brothers or something. And they were in town because I remember watching it on the big screen. I remember it kind of didn't have the best ratings because people felt like it was just oversaturated.
Yeah,
with all the I mean, I didn't hate it, honestly. I liked it okay, and I especially liked the Gwen Stacy storyline. And when she showed up in that scene dressed in the outfit, I was like, "Oh, I know what's coming."
Oh, okay. So
I know what's coming because I used to have
that. What's coming.
I used to have that issue with her on the front.
Yep.
In that outfit, and so I felt like the way they portrayed it carried out a little differently than how what happened in the comics. In the comics,
it did.
Her head snapped, and in this one, her head hit the floor. It was very close, but I liked how they pulled it off. I thought that was very well done.
Oh, that song.
Anyway, I didn't hate it like so many other people did. It certainly wasn't the best to me, but I thought it was okay.
I was going to ask between this and Spider-Man 3, which one did a better job of balancing all these villains, do you think?
It's been a bit since I've seen Spider-Man 3. I might pick this Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
I would say
But-
Spider-Man 3.
You would say Spider-Man 3. If I went back and rewatched them side by side, maybe I would have a different, but I'm just like Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the most recent one I've seen.
Right.
Because it has been a long, long time since I saw Spider-Man 3. I just remember Aurelia crying.
I remember how
Aurelia was
sad
crying.
the ending was.
Yeah, she cried when his friend died.
Yeah.
She was kind of young. Yeah, she was young when she saw that, so it really affected her.
I was like, what, 11? Yeah.
When did that come? Was that 2000? Yeah,
It was like
came out in
May.
2007. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 11.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
long, long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, so then
number 10 is Interstellar, which we
I
already
gotta
talked
watch
about.
that one too. I totally missed it when at the time.
It shied.
What?
That's shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
didn't care for it either.
No.
Yeah,
It was
wasn't.
interesting, but it just kind of felt soulless. And then the whole love thing was like shoehorned in.
It did feel, yeah, it was weird for a movie. This kind of feels like it's about love. It felt like soulless. Soulless is a harsh term, but I see what he's saying. Yeah.
What was the love story again? Was it?
With his daughter, Matthew McConaughey and his daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The reason he
Wait,
was able to
wait.
communicate with her through time is because love is the most powerful thing in the universe.
Yeah, that
It
you're talking
transcends
about
time and space.
You're talking about the father-daughter
The daughter.
Yeah.
love story. Okay, all right, yeah, right. That was I don't know. It was a little. I feel like it might have been a little bit easier to understand than Tenet, but then I've never made it through Tenet.
Tenet was not for me. I tried.
Oh.
I mean, I got through it, and it was kind of cool initially, like, because that was kind of my first back into the theater film. It just felt kind of good back, but it was a little awkward. And then I just kind of felt like, this is a big, I don't know, just whatever my expectation was of it. And then Christopher Nolan, and then getting into it, it just was like, ooh. And the thing is, I'm fine with being challenged and having something that's not, just easy or super accessible, but it just felt like he was really going out of his way to make something that was just kind of overly obscure and just kind of like, it didn't click with me at all.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he has autism or Asperger's or something.
Well, it was nice to see that Denzel Washington's son was in in the movie.
I wish I could have finished it, but I was so freaking confused, and I didn't have the brain power.
Well,
and I wanted to like it. I liked the opening intro scene, and then and I was just like, I am so confused. I just don't have the mental energy for this. So maybe I'll come back later. I haven't. It's been like 2 years, and I haven't.
So what you're saying is we're not adding that to the watch list, Sam?
Oh, I would rather.
So what about Oppenheimer?
Speaking of watch list, when are we going to watch Army of Darkness?
I was thinking about that today. I have to. You sent me a link of things to check out, and I have to. I think probably what I'm going to have to do is get a copy of the movie and then use that. We may have to do it through StreamYard. But the
do you want to take point and figure it out?
Say what?
Do you want to take point and figure it out how to best do it?
You can try. I've done it on StreamYard before. I like the ease of StreamYard. The downside to it is it just screws up the audio like crazy. Like the last one I did with D, it was... we couldn't talk to each other during the film. I would have to pause it each time we were going to say something because I couldn't hear him good. And it was aggravating.
That doesn't sound good for a watch party.
No, it's annoying because you want to be able to converse.
Right.
What is the problem with the audio?
What would it do? Like, I couldn't hear D very well, and it wasn't that it's like it does this weird. It tries to do some sort of processing to the audio, and there's not much you can do to fix it.
Yeah, it almost sounds like it's rattling around inside of some kind of machine or something like that, and it just sounds really metallic-y and kind of just like it's really scattered and weird.
Cool.
Yeah, like if you have the two, because I remember I did a watch party with Terminator 2 with some folks with Sound Booth Theater, and we were having the same issue with StreamYard. And
I've got a copy, and I use raw OBS for streaming. So if you want me to experiment with that and see if it works,
okay, I only have a superficial knowledge of how to use OBS, and I use it to record my videos. That's about all I know how to do with it.
Yeah.
So if you
Well, I
maybe
know
give me
OBS pretty well, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it's a great program. I just don't know how to use it beyond the little bit that I use it for. Okay, sorry, that was off track. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get back
Well,
to
I
it.
mean, that's it for the top 10 worldwide. I was going to go through some of the list here that scrolling down. I forgot the Lego movie came out this year.
Oh yeah.
The first
That
one.
was really funny. I really liked that. I don't see all movies, kids family friendly, but that has a lot of like humor. I think that lands for adults as well.
Mhm.
Like, I
just remembered Morgan Freeman's character. Like, there was one scene where something was happening, and your brother was with us and his son. But there was a scene where he's on the ground, and he says something that was like, I don't know, maybe he's gonna be a badass or something. But then he just ends up dying, and Matt just started laughing.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
He was like, he was talking, and then he's like. I never forgot that. Chris Pratt was also like, this was his like first movie to come out like this year before Guardians.
Oh, it came out before Guardians?
Came out in February, I remember.
Oh wow, I forgot Noah was this year.
I did too.
Oh wow.
Noah?
Yeah, I remember. I went to see it with my dad and.
Wait, is that? Oh, you mean Noah's Ark? Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
With
Russell Crowe.
Emma
Russell Crowe.
Watson,
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, Oh yeah, your dad and your brother Matt.
Okay, I forgot Matt was with us.
I remember seeing that movie.
I feel really bad. We subjected my super like conservative Christian grandmother to that movie, not realizing it was gonna be. I mean, I should have known, but I was just like, oh yeah, Noah's Ark, Darren Aronofsky. He's gonna do something mainstream.
Oh, that was one of his movies. Oh, that's why it was so freaking weird.
Yep.
Really
some of the stuff. Okay.
Like, what was weird about some of the?
It was a weird movie. Yeah.
Oh no, those were fallen angels.
They were.
Yeah, they were supposed to be fallen angels.
I don't even remember. I just remember I wasn't super crazy about it.
It was fine. I mean, I found it interesting up until one of the girls got killed by the running stampede of people going to the Ark. It had the kid in there that played the son of like his dad's the god of storm.
You're talking about the kid who played in Fury?
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah. Him. Yeah,
also, he was in two big movies.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah.
The Monument Men. We did see that one.
Oh, that one was so underwhelming.
Was it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, John Goodman, George Clooney, the art in a war.
Yeah,
it had all the parts.
Yeah,
that should have made it a good film.
Underwhelming, right? It had all these parts, and it was just kind of like okay.
It just didn't click.
I agree.
I guess it just wasn't like impactful as like Fury was.
I can't believe I haven't seen Fury. It sounds like
Colin.
Yeah,
you must watch.
Fury is such a good family-friendly movie. Every kid can go watch it.
Well,
this is like Arturo's. This is Arturo's tag. So we were watching it. We were rewatching it yesterday, and my mom
as soon
was
as
in
you
the
said
room.
that, I know like it's gore, graphic violence.
It is.
They're just sleeping. That's all.
Yeah, they're just giving them. They're just like giving them little love pats when the tank rolls right over them.
Absolutely. That sounds about
I mean, sometimes it goes overboard. I know a guy's head got cut off, but it's fine.
I remember that film when we first saw it. We went to see it on the big screen. Arturo, you went, and I remember my dad. And boy, that scene! There's a scene where these tanks are facing off against 3 American tanks facing off against a Tiger tank.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! I never thought a tank battle could be as tenseful as that scene was. I kid you not. I was so uptight.
Holy shit, this is tenseful.
It was very tenseful.
I gotta see it. Yeah, I'm putting that on my to watch list.
I think you'll like
it's
it.
better
Colin.
than The Monument Man. Way
yeah,
better.
it's
It's
tons better.
got so it's got Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf. What's the guy's name from The Punisher? It's got him.
John Bernthal.
And what the Spanish guy, the Mexican guy?
Is it Michael? Is his name Michael Pena?
The one that plays an Ant-Man.
Yeah,
that's
Michael
Pena.
back it up.
Michael Pena.
Just back it up. Just back it up.
And the
It's
kid
got
who
the
played
kid
as Poseidon's son, Percy Jackson.
and he it's also got Scott Eastwood.
Oh yeah,
Eastwood's
Scott
son.
Eastwood was in there for a little bit.
It's got another actor in there too. I just don't remember his name.
It's so the acting is so good.
Oh yeah, and
the writing was phenomenal. The character arc of the main character, who is the story is primarily told sort of through his eyes. No, not Brad Pitt, the kid.
Oh, the kid.
The kid who joins them. The character arc, the transformation that he has from the beginning to what he becomes, like how he's changed at the end. It's such a good movie.
And you know what I noticed, Sin?
I'm gonna check it out.
When we watched it, I just realized that the whole movie actually takes place that whole one day. Did you notice that?
Well, it shows the tank crew there, and then they pick up the kid. Is it?
It's
an
like
entire
all
day?
in one whole day, except for that
I feel like maybe a day and a half, 2 days, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. It's good and something interesting.
Really good too. And
yeah,
they make the gun effects look so powerful. Some of the
an interesting bit of trivia we found out that Tiger tank that was in that scene, that's the only operating Tiger tank left in the world. Yep. And they used it for that film.
That's pretty cool.
And the interesting thing about the Tiger tank, I don't know how much you know about them, Colin, but they're really hard for American tanks to destroy. They were almost completely invulnerable. Okay, they had one weakness, which was their butt. That was their weakness.
Yeah. Me too.
So that's why they were such formidable foes on the battlefield, and that's why that scene was so scary, because these 3 American tanks, and they are just getting their asses kicked by this one Tiger tank.
Cool. Yeah,
yeah, it was really. I think you will like it.
I'm looking up where it's streaming right now.
Yeah, and I can see why it bombed, Jason. It just didn't. There was just no spark there like you thought it should be.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate.
Fury's so much better.
What's that, D?
No, I was saying that's surprised. I didn't see it, but it looked like something that you would think would be something quality or fairly solid. I'm surprised. It was so disappointing.
Well, that's kind of it. I kind of came away from that movie with the same feeling that I did. What was that other movie we talked about before? Was it Red Tails?
Oh yeah, Red Tail.
Would that look like that had all of the makings of something that would be great, and it was just, it just didn't work.
I mean, it was interesting knowing.
Yeah, but it just didn't have that spark. It just didn't like you watch Fury, totally different type of film. It's got what it needs. Monuments Men, Red Tails, it just didn't.
Wasn't that the George Lucas passion project?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't
Red
George
Tails?
Lucas. It was Lucas Film.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that. Anyway.
Has anybody heard of Million Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah, I was disappointed. Sarah Silverman's in that, and Seth MacFarlane, who I love both of them. But I think, I don't know, it just wasn't that funny to me. I was disappointed in that one.
Tor, did you notice this here? What Dulcimer says?
That
Kelly's Heroes. They talk about that. I didn't remember that from Kelly's Heroes.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was the actor Oddball.
Oh, was that okay?
He's talking about like how their weakness is their ass.
Okay.
I will, Simon. The site you showed me, Simon, has been working for me, so I'm going to use that to watch Fury because I don't see it. I watched a few movies on that, so thank you. Yeah.
I wanted to address this question that Jason mentioned. What do you guys think about this? I've never seen this movie. I had no interest at all in watching this movie. But it won Best.
What else was nominated? and
I don't remember.
get it. I saw the movie and I thought it was boring, but really cool how it was done, and on a technical level.
Right.
Like I didn't
A
really
single
care
take?
about the story, but not just it on multiple things. How the technicality of I think is I don't remember the whole movie, but most of the movie is not the whole movie. A lot of the movie's one shot, and there's this like I think I'm thinking of that right. I think it's most of the movie is one shot.
I believe so.
And then the way the music plays, the soundtrack, and is used really in a unique way, kind of like a jazzy kind of way.
Yeah.
And so it on a technical level, it was really unique, and I thought it was cool, and I liked that, and I wish more movies were like it in that sense. Like the story, I didn't care about it all. So I see why it won. I can also see why people would like not be happy with it winning, because I feel like there's other movies that were, you could argue, were better in other ways, lots of ways.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow. We gotta talk about that one. Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
Wait, sorry, but D, did you agree on the Birdman? Did you have any?
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say really my main draw for it was Michael Keaton. You know, I've been on board with Michael Keaton since the Batman Returns.
Since Batman.
So you know, I'm always interested in seeing everything else that he does. He's just a solid actor in general, even outside of Batman. And my appreciation of him for that. So I think he was great. A lot of my appreciation for it was his performance, and Colin, like you said, the technical aspect of it. And I may have to watch it again. It's been some years, so I may have to just see if it. You know, some things appeal differently when you over time, and some things don't, or it kind of stays the same. It just kind of depends. So I think if I watch it again, I may feel the same, or I may see, oh, okay, I kind of see where the substance was, but it did feel like it was trying to, from what I remember, it was just kind of dealing with some kind of weighty themes and kind of some deeper messaging as far as, I feel like it had to do like kind of with aging and kind of identity and just certain aspects and being at a certain stage in your life. And I think that was cool. But I remember just kind of like, okay, I never really connected to it fully. So yeah, I think, so I can understand certain aspects of it being rewarded or celebrated, or having a lot of acclaim, but I will say when there's not an emotional connection there, then it becomes kind of like okay, well, on to the next thing.
Right. It feels like an empty husk.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I was actually in an ice cream parlor with Michael Keaton at one point.
Oh, really?
Cool.
He was a few places ahead of me in the queue, and I was kind of really straining to hear what he was saying. But I did hear him say, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." And the reason I said that is because you won't miss me so much when I go to make coffee. I'll be right back.
See, I'm just trying to figure out if he was yanking our chain. Totally, I think he was. Yeah,
Completely accurate, Chin. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I believe them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started talking about
Edge of Tomorrow.
Love it.
Emily Blunt.
Loved
and
that movie.
Tom
Yes.
Cruise.
Wait, is it Kill, Die, Repeat?
Yep.
Yeah,
Die,
live, die, repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
Live, Die, Repeat.
So I loved Emily Blunt's character in here. She was such a badass, and I loved that it showed her doing yoga.
Oh yeah, she was doing yoga.
and the yoga. I mean, and you could see like what a kick-ass workout it was that she was getting, because yoga can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be.
And poor Tom Cruise is just thrown into this situation.
It's been a while since I've watched that film, and I would love to watch it again. It was so fun.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
That we should it should be a watch party thing?
Absolutely.
Fun fact. Apparently, I heard
fun
that
movie.
this
I'm gonna write that
based
down.
off of
Mind myself.
This is based off of a manga.
A graphic manga.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I guess if I knew that, I forgot.
And you know what it also reminded me of a little bit?
What's
Resistance Fall of Man.
Oh, because of the aliens?
And have to go to France and blah blah blah. Yeah.
I feel like
Really
wasn't Resistance Fall of Man a little bit more post-apocalyptic than Edge of Tomorrow was?
Yeah, but yeah, and like Europe is post-apocalyptic, but there's still resistance. But in Edge of Tomorrow, I mean, it kind of got the same vibe. Like all of Europe except for Britain is post-apocalyptic. Yeah. But yeah, I really like that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say what one thing I enjoyed a lot because I'm not used to that and I didn't expect it. And I think it made for a very interesting kind of dynamic. But I'm used to Tom Cruise playing, these, in your face, balls to the wall, just like intense, just very like, strong and like, these characters that are, very action centered and just like kicking tail the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he ends up playing someone who basically is a coward and a deserter and basically gets thrown in there and he's just like doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what's going on, and then he kind of realizes, okay, and then he just kind of starts to build his confidence and then he starts to understand what's going on and just kind of how it unfolds from there, and then he gets everything. I actually thought that was cool, and even kind of I don't know. I'm sure that wasn't the main point, but almost like how you see with video games, how you have to like restart and then
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you learn this, and okay, I'm going to do this differently. I thought that was great, and then of course when Emily Blunt's character kind of like, oh, this has happened before, and we kind of see this bigger, framework for the story and the hive and all that other stuff. I thought that was great, and I thought the creature design was quite horrifying, I must say.
Yeah, they were freaky looking.
Yeah. And I was so shocked, like when he like ended up blasting the biggest one. I think they're called alphas. I think those are. And he blasted, and you just see his body like rotting, melting, and then all of a sudden he wakes. I remember everybody like I watched this. Well, we were all like, because first we were thrown off the fact that his face suddenly just disintegrated, and then he woke up. We were like, so what's going on here?
Was that the first time he dies and repeats?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So
yeah, and then once the blood basically splashes him, and that's when he wakes up from that experience.
Okay.
So the manga is called "All You Need Is Kill."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
I wonder how it compares to the manga. I wonder if the manga is better because this movie was really good. Has anybody in the audience read the manga? If you have,
I would like to. Okay, so
you trying to find where you can buy it?
I'm seeing pictures of it.
Oh, okay.
I would like to maybe buy it and read it.
So when was this manga made?
Oh my gosh! So the manga.
They're like 20 issues.
Oh, this is funny. So the light novel was published back in 2004, and then the manga. Only two volumes came out the same year. The two manga volumes came out the same year as the movie.
That's weird. Wow.
Like 10 years after the light novel.
This was an anime as well. Is it on Crunchyroll, Arturo?
What? Oh.
The anime. I actually wouldn't mind watching the anime sometime if it's on Crunchyroll.
Let me see. I gotta look it up.
I gotta go make coffee as well.
Oh, and I just finished my coffee. I'll probably have to go to the bathroom sometime. Yeah, that was a really fun film to see on the big screen.
Yeah,
that was great.
And I liked the I know open-endedness doesn't work for every film, but I kind of liked where it ended, where he's successful and then it kind of reverts, and all of a sudden mysteriously things have. The enemy has been defeated and all this and so on and so forth. Everything works out. Because at first it kind of looks like he started over again, but he does succeed. And then when he sees her, it's that same image of her, like moving
doing
up
her. Yeah.
And then you just see this big smile on his face, like, and it's like, oh, like, we can go anywhere from here. And he's going to basically tell me everything that happens. So I like that.
Oh, man, the manga almost looks like a little bit similar to like how the plot sort of goes. The guy dies multiple times.
So we're talking about anime because
Edge of Tomorrow is
based off of a manga. So then the discussion of the anime came up as well.
I'm looking and I don't see anything that looks like. I just see manga.
I would love to see
the made into
well, that's what he says here. So
I see is just the illustration
Box
of the
Trolls.
Oh, wait a minute.
I haven't seen Box Trolls.
I remember the previews for it. It actually looked interesting. I want to say it was stop motion from what I remember, but yeah, it's one I would be interested in going back to watch.
Okay. What were you saying, Arturo?
Oh, I mean, I thought I found some, but
Oh,
no.
Well, we can check.
All
check
I'm seeing
for it
is like
later.
pictures of it.
We'll see if we can find it somehow.
But
Okay,
the guy in the book, he's got black hair, so same as Tom Cruise.
Well, I mean, most people have dark hair. Most of the world has people with dark hair, so that's not super unusual.
Yeah, but like it seemed like they picked right in the movie.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to go wrong with Tom Cruise in action movies. So, so other films to talk about.
How to Train Your Dragon 2. We never saw that one.
We never did. I've heard that's actually a trilogy that's good too.
Yeah, would like to finish it.
And I don't know if I tagged you when it's in, or I think I might have shared something and you commented on it on Twitter. But you saw where they're trying to kind of go in the direction of Disney as far as doing a live action remake of it.
I vaguely remember that now.
Yeah.
I'm so over this whole Disney live action crap. Like I seriously,
you know what? They could like make it. They could just make and do like whatever. Just do whatever with your products. I don't care anymore.
But
I don't care.
It's
just do whatever.
It just feels like they're incapable of bringing us something that's new and fresh and original. They have to go back and rehash things.
But that's my issue. Because I feel like DreamWorks, if nothing else, they've been very innovative as far as, even if we just talk about just the animation by itself, I feel like their ideas are cool and they've done some really interesting, they brought us some like really interesting and unique things, even like recently, the last couple of years. But even what is it? Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That was
that was good.
Excellent. But it's just like, like I don't feel like, I mean, unless you just really want to make money, but I just feel like that kind of flies in the face of what they've represented as a company. So it's just like I don't feel like necessarily down that road, but I'm not surprised.
Well, some things just don't translate very well to live action. So it's just, I feel like a lot of those are just better left the way they were originally.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand just how, I mean, and not even, because I think some people relegate animation to just something for children, but I don't think people understand whether it's geared towards children, young adults, or adults, that it's a very impactful medium, and there's a lot that you can really do with it, and it kind of resonates in a way that live action can't. Like, it can reach a different kind of way.
Yeah.
And, even when I think about the DC animated films, which I think are like great, those like are effective in a way that a lot of the live action DC films aren't. So it would be really interesting. If I don't know, I would prefer if we could just continue to expand that. But like I said, we've gotten in a rut and we just kind of repeat things. I would be horrified to see Shrek in live action.
Yeah, that would be, but I wouldn't put it past them.
My gosh, do you remember what the initial Sonic the Hedgehog?
I just had a thought. Has there ever?
Oh yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah. Sorry, Simon. Go ahead.
Has there ever been an animated reboot of an animated movie?
Animated movie? I don't think so.
An animated reboot of an animated movie.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
Because there's been live action reboots of live action movies, but
yeah,
they never seem to.
No, I can't. I can't think of.
No, I don't think so.
If somebody in the audience happens to know, I can't think of any.
The only thing I know of is
animation that's been rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
But like an animated movie, no.
Because I think the reason they do the live action reboots is because budgets are so high these days. I think want an unknown quantity. They want a like pre-existing franchise to bring people in. So.
Sin, your favorite movie, Snowpiercer.
Oh, I hated that movie.
Oh.
Gosh, that was terrible. Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it yet. Nope.
Oh wait, you know what this means? You know what this means?
I thought it would like. No, don't do it.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
All right.
No, every time you get mad, I have to play.
Gosh, that was even funnier this time. Oh, so now I remember. Now I know what you said specifically, and I remember that because that was in Halloween Ends. Like, really?
So on the live stream I was on last week with the folks at Sound Blue Theater, where we were discussing, oh gosh, I don't remember now what we were discussing. Rain of Fire. No, we were discussing Rain of Fire, and Ahmed, who was running the StreamYard, he was doing exactly what Arturo is doing. He kept interrupting people by throwing my intro video where I do the song, has the song and the logo and everything. We'd be in the middle of talking, and he'd slap that thing up there.
Is that a Halloween intro reference?
Yes, it is, Jason.
Yeah. Just showing how Sin
that movie still makes me
expresses
angry.
herself in an interesting way.
Yes, it's the moment when Corey's darkness and Michael Myers' darkness like see each other and they connect on a deeper, methodical level. Like they're here, they're one, they're interlinked.
It was a soul gaze. I kid you not. It was so terrible.
And then Matt's like, which was beautiful.
I can feel my blood pressure going up right now. Just like I can feel. I'm getting.
Oh wait, I got the answer.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Stop.
He lets him go.
Okay, we were talking about Snowpiercer. Yeah, I thought I would like it, and I hated it.
Really?
I thought it was awful.
What was it that you hated about it the most?
Pretty much the whole thing. I thought it was going to get better, and it just never did.
What would you say, like, looking at everything, looking at your expectation or your hope for it, when did it go awry for you, and why did it not get better?
Gosh, when did it go awry? I saw it once, and that was enough for me. I don't know. Maybe. I just wasn't feeling it the whole time, but I thought it was just going to somehow improve. Maybe like the final, when they were having the final uprising or whatever, and nothing really seemed to get better.
They were going through the other cars, and then you just see everything from like teachers teaching these kids, and
it was just too out there from I just didn't like it. Who directed that crap fest of a movie? Oh, really? Because it seems like something crazy that an Aronofsky would do.
No, it was a Korean dude. He's done good movies before.
Is he the same one who did Parasite?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It might be. I'd have to look it up.
Oh, really? Interesting. So
it's a good director.
They had made a series, a TV show of it.
Right. I never saw that. I'll say
I've heard that too.
I don't even want to. I mean, I watched a trailer for it, and I can't remember. Maybe I expressed some mild interest in it just because Jennifer Connelly was in it. But the only reason I was interested to see, Snowpiercer, the movie, was because Chris Evans was in it, and Winter Soldier and all that. And I thought it was going to be
It had the guy from The Good, the Bad, the Weird in it too.
I'll say about Snowpiercer, it had two memorable scenes for me. One memorably cool, and one memorably dumb. And it feel like the movie was a wash. But the memorably cool scene was when I don't even remember. It's like they're trying to get through, and they get to a car with all these dudes with weapons and armor, and then like the lights go out, and it was just like we're gonna kill you. And I remember feeling like it was like a scary, tense, like it felt real. It got real violent and real all of a sudden. Like this whole time, it was all this talking and a mission, and then it was just like, we're here to brutally kill you. So and I was like, oh fuck, like it hit me, and like that was cool. And then the memorably stupid scene was like, they were like, you know what you're eating? You're eating bugs. And I was like, yeah, it's the future. And they're like, can you believe it? It's the worst thing ever. It's like, no, that's protein. And they're like, yeah, it's horrifying. And I'm like, didn't the Asian dude make this movie? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. So that was funny to me that it was like this big horrific reveal that they were eating bugs. And in the same movie, there was crazy violence and like murder. And so that was my two things I remember about that movie.
What did you think about it, Dee? Did you watch it?
No, I still have to see it.
Okay.
I remember the name, and I remember this is the same one with the whole train concept, right?
Yes, it all takes place on this train that just has to run constantly.
Yeah, and I remember like conceptually it sounded interesting. I didn't really. It was one of those that I missed at the time. But I may have to circle back. Like I said, maybe because I'm hearing that it was. You know, it's weird how that works. It's like sometimes if we hear too much positive about something, and it can diminish how we. You know, it can diminish our appreciation of it. And
that's why I don't
like, oh, well, it's not that bad. And then sometimes we're on the same accord, and it really is bad as people think.
Well, it's got pretty high ratings, so I feel like I'm just in the minority on this. You may enjoy it. I don't know, or you might not. Right. We're very often on the same wavelength, but sometimes we're not. Sometimes you like something more than I did, or sometimes you dislike something more than I did. So
I want to say the main two that I can think of that we were probably opposites on. I know Nope was one, and then I just thought of another one. Wait, were we on the same page with X?
Wait, D, did you not like Nope?
It wasn't.
No, he was not. He wasn't.
Okay.
No, he X. I enjoyed X. But I can't remember what did you think about it?
I wasn't as into it, but I
into it. Okay,
a little underwhelming. But yeah, like there are some other ones, but yeah, I would say Nope is probably the big one where you were like, oh, I like this, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I know you were.
Well, you have to admit, it was an interesting concept.
I like Nope. I think it wasn't perfect, but I think Jordan Peele's gonna make a perfect movie. And every time one of his movies comes out, I'm like, this is it. And I see it, I'm like, it was pretty good. But I think he's got some great ones in him.
Some people feel like he's just getting worse as the movies go on.
I think he keeps putting out like 7s or 8s. Like he's consistently above average, but he hasn't hit that sweet spot for me yet.
Still have yet to see Us. So that's the one I really want to see. Us.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I like
probably my favorite one too. Yeah. And isn't that the one? That is the one with Tim Heidecker in it. Yeah. The crazy, like the white dad in the rich people's home. Yeah.
I'm not seeing his face.
Wait, wasn't that in Get Out? I thought Get Out was had to do with.
Wait, Tim Heidecker?
He's like a blonde, just a blonde-haired comedian. He was like the family with the teenage daughters, the mom and the dad.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Smart as the mom.
Yeah,
the hair who got killed.
It was just cool seeing a comedian in a horror movie.
Well, I didn't know. I haven't seen it.
But yeah, that was. Wait, sorry.
Wait. You said hold on. You said Elizabeth Smart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember she was the wife in the rich white family who got killed by the
spoiler. I haven't seen it.
And then the F the police. She was trying to get Alexa to call the police. Then it started like, playing F the Police by Public Enemy. You're
thinking Elizabeth Moss.
Did I say Smart? I'm sorry.
Yes, you said Smart, and I'm looking her up, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not her.
Sorry,
that's the chick who was kidnapped.
Sorry,
I totally agree with her name.
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss from Invisible Man.
Yeah, and Mad Men. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Arturo, sorry, spoilers. But I mean, it's not hard to predict that's.
Well, they don't all die. The question is.
Jason, we got a question for you here.
Okay. So no, I did. It's just like I think, and it wouldn't have made sense for Sin to tell me beforehand because I would have. The whole point is that you kind of have one expectation of this. And I remember hearing I think there's other films like Shaun of the Dead, and then John Dies at the End. Those where it's kind of like spoofs of like zombie movies and things like that. So I assumed this was going to be like a spoof of some kind of cannibal, zombie, something like that. And so then I was genuinely confused because I was just like, but where's the supernatural? And it was like, these people are really just like creating this entire scenario because they're missing. So it really just blew me. Like, it wasn't bad at all. I think when I watch it a second time, I'm going to really laugh at it. But I was really like, kind of like in a state of shock, like really all happening just because of these people. Like I was.
Yeah, I noticed you're like you weren't reacting in the way that I expected. Like you did have this very often perpetual look of like disbelief on your face.
You did look confused during the
I
violence.
was, because I was like, really? Like it shocked me. Like it was good, but it just was like I was like, wow. Like I feel like I was constantly having to remind myself. Like I was, yeah. I just was
Jumped head first right into the wood chipper.
Yeah,
Head first
head
right
first
into the wood chipper. Where'd you get that from? Oh, it's college blood. It's college kid blood. You know what they're doing? These kids, they're just killing themselves all over.
Yeah, that was the best. These kids are just killing themselves.
And then the sheriff comes by.
And then when the sheriff comes by, he's like, "Why?" Remember when? Well, gosh, I keep getting the two guys mixed up. But the skinny guy, he was like making fun of the other guy. Like, what are we gonna say to the sheriff? Oh, hi, sheriff. We've had a doozy of a day. And then the sheriff comes up and they do say, "We've had a doozy of a day."
And
they
these
look
kids,
guilty
they just are killing themselves all over our property.
And they look so guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie! It cracks me up just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
And then, well, I don't want to say anymore.
I tell you, I laughed so hard watching that crazy movie.
Then,
First time I saw
all right, then our cousin, like, didn't she, like when the first kill happened?
We both just screamed with laughter so hard. I don't remember how many bathroom trips she had to take because it tickled her so much. Oh, my face was tired at the end of watching it that first time because I just laughed.
That's a good feeling, though.
It is a good feeling, but yeah, I could feel it. Boy, it's like, whew.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's not even a 2014 film.
The Purge Anarchy came out this year.
The best one, in my opinion.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah, that's the second one with that actor that played
Frank
it.
Grillo.
This is actually his second.
He also played
this is his second movie. He was in Captain America.
Yeah, he was in. So I remember when he was filming that because like a long time ago, after I saw Warrior, I friended him on Facebook, and it's the real guy. It's not like a fake account or anything. And so I remember when he was filming Captain America, and he would like put some of these little shots up. So I knew he was going to be in it. So I was looking forward to watching his performance. I thought he did. He's a really good actor. I've always liked Frank Grillo. His performance and things. He's very intense. Like he looks like someone you would not
want
to mess with.
I agree.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Michael Bay, I think. Didn't Michael Bay direct this?
Oh, that initial animated one that they did.
Wait, is that the one with?
Never mind. Michael Bay didn't direct it, but this is when like it's like live action, like new version.
Is that the one with Megan Fox in it?
Yeah, Megan Fox. Anybody seen that or Forgettable?
I don't even remember. Did we watch it? I don't remember that. Like maybe playing when I was working or something.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Okay, that wasn't the one we went. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was looking at the comment. I was going to say, like, I understand they emphasize the violence part because it's horror or just kind of that whole thing. But I'm like, yeah, I would crank up like all the money I could and then just go mind my business and go like find a safe spot and let that be it. But I'm like, I really personally, yes, there are a lot of people I don't like, but there's no one that I really so desperate to go murder. I'm like, no, I'm going to get some money, get some appliances, get some equipment. Like, no, I'll just take stuff I need and I'm good.
Yep, just hide out for 24 hours.
But isn't the Purge all set up to actually like kill off a bit of the population in a sense or something? Like,
because there are a lot of people out there who do have their day-to-day issues, and they have people they really do want to target and get rid of, and then they kind of
like. I think there's like government, like people mixed in the crowd to start killing people during the Purge. Expendables 3. Has anybody seen that one?
Don't think I've seen that one.
I haven't seen any of them actually.
I think that one.
I feel like I want to. Really? Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It does have Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I knew he was in some of them.
Oh, speaking of.
What? Oh
I have to
yeah,
show
what you
this
picked
video.
up? What you picked up this weekend?
Oh, that looks cool.
It's like this cool little display. We went to a con, a local like horror con,
That's really nice.
and one of our homeschool friends, or a homeschool daddy, he his full time now is he just goes around to cons and sells his art and his stuff. And he had started to do that right before the world ended, and then that went to crap. And so now he's back to it now. And so we saw him there at the con, and Arturo got that. I got this, which I love this artwork. Which this is my avatar sometimes in some places. The Dark Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
It's like this metal bookmark.
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I've always liked this picture of her.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not super into her, but I just love that picture. There's something so cool about it. So so that's what Arturo's showing off. He got like this little display box of Predator. It's like all these different scenes. It's really cool.
I was gonna say that's one of my favorite cliffhanger, and there's a few that I like, but on the X-Men, the animated series,
the animated series
cliffhangers when basically like Jean kind of breaks out of what this illusion that she's been under, and then she kind of realizes like, oh, like I can't remember the name of the guy, but basically he's been allowing her to think like she's in the old colonial times, like in the 18th, 19th century or something like that, and then she breaks out, and then she's like, and then she basically blasts his illusion away. You see that he's made himself to be this like, charming, buff guy, and he's, mousy and kind of ugly. And she was like, let the world see how ugly you are. And she's like, through this body, I felt the thrill of evil. And then Scott runs in, and then she's just like, the mortal Jean Grey is no more. I am fire made flesh, power incarnate. I am the Dark Phoenix. And then you see the flames of the bird just go.
Yeah.
To be continued. I loved it.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
I was all caught up in him telling the story of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movies never captured that. The animated series was awesome.
I need to try to watch that. I used to. Now this is this the one from the 90s? Are you talking about? Okay. I don't think I saw that episode. Or if I did, I forgot. I haven't seen all of them, but I would like to watch them.
I can't wait to hear the theme. That theme song is iconic.
They better keep it. They better keep it. You said they were, right? Okay.
Oh yeah. They better. I don't know if they are, but they better.
Well, remember,
that was
Disney
such a great...
running this project in a sense.
I may have read that they are.
I thought someone said somewhere. I thought that was you. We were talking about it before.
I may have read that, but it didn't stick in my head. Nothing sticks in my head anymore.
Sen, I was gonna say, you don't listen to a lot of Whitney Houston, do you?
No, but I mean, I know some of her songs, like especially the ones from like the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say she has a song. I don't know if that was her second album, but she has a song called "I'm Your Baby Tonight." And the theme, if you listen to both the songs, it goes like, "Whatever you want from me, I'm giving you everything."
Sounds like the X-Men.
It has the same. Yes, it's crazy. I don't know how that is the case, but I think it might just be a happy coincidence. But yeah, it has the same little theme. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I never picked up on that. Now I feel like I need to find the song and listen to it.
Yeah. It's not like it doesn't have like the actually. Yeah, now I have to listen.
You mean it's not as blatant as like the Super Freak and the MC Hammer song?
Oh, it's probably not quite like that, but
okay.
it at least has that first theme, because I feel like there are some moments. Yeah, I have to listen to it again, but at least that initial like it at least has that.
No.
Yeah. So
okay.
But now I think it might have some more, because there's a point where she kind of does the and I'm like, well, they do have a point in the theme, so I'm like, actually, it might be more than I thought initially. So yeah.
Interesting. Dulcimerist, I don't know, because I haven't seen The Voices, so I'm not sure if it's on the 2014 list or not.
The Equalizer, Denzel Washington.
I like The Equalizer.
Oh, still need to see it, but he was my Denzel's always solid for me. So
right.
Yeah, so
I really like him.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the third one. That's on my top 10. Yeah. Top 10 most anticipated. Now, I was a bit disappointed in the second one. I didn't feel like
I think
it.
you told me that. I was going to ask you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that the third one will be an improvement.
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not tone deaf, at least. I think if I really tried, I could probably make something shake. But yeah, I'm okay.
You should join Shmuel. Have you ever heard of that app called Shmuel?
No, what is that?
Like where you can. I used to have like a paid membership to it, but I don't anymore. But it's like you can get on there and you can sing. Like it's basically like karaoke, except you can it's you're recording it on your phone. I've got a couple songs on there that I've done some duets with my brother Tim, and then when I had a paying membership, I did some others. Anyway, it's kind of cool. You should try it. I think you would do great because you sound like you've got a really good voice.
Okay, cool.
It's called Shmuel.
Okay, Shmuel.
Shmuel.
Penguins.
Yep.
Penguins of Madagascar.
Smule. Wow, that was a 2014 movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did we watch that one? I don't think we did. Did we?
No.
Okay. I don't know where Simon went to.
Oh, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. We never saw that one.
I didn't see any of those. I have to go back and watch from the beginning.
You haven't seen any of the Night at the Museum movies?
I missed them for whatever reason when they came out.
Oh, I think the first one was the best.
Yeah. So did the other two feel kind of unnecessary?
I wasn't super crazy about the third one, and I don't even remember if I saw the fourth one. Was there of the third one? I don't even remember.
That had Hugh Jackman in it as a cameo, and then he did like a Wolverine.
Oh
reference.
Gosh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be bittersweet because one of my favorites, Robin Williams. I know he was a part of those.
Yeah, he played Teddy Roosevelt.
That was his last movie.
Wait, was it?
I think that was. Yeah, it came out in December. This was the same year he actually died.
Oh my gosh!
He died in November.
That long.
And this came out like in December.
Oh shoot! So Simon says he messed around with the setting and now he can't get his mic. Okay, all right, Simon, just jump back in when you're able.
American Sniper also came out this year, directed by Clint Eastwood.
So the only thing I know about American Sniper, because I never saw the film, but I remember it got dragged because there's this scene with a fake baby, and I remember that was just being talked about everywhere.
A fake
baby. I think your mom pointed that out. Sue.
My mom? Gosh, I forgot about the fake baby.
Yeah.
I forgot about the fake baby. Did he shoot the fake baby? I can't remember.
No.
Was it supposed to be a bomb?
No. It was his child.
Whoa, okay. See?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, wait. To remind me about the fake baby.
I think it was like a scene where they were holding the daughter.
And it was fake. Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, he did he did shoot a kid. Like, he did shoot a kid in the movie. He did shoot a kid, but...
Okay. That's why
not a baby, not an infant.
I thought maybe it was like I thought it was maybe like a fake baby that a hostel was disguising and it was a bomb. I thought that's what you were referring to. Because there was a scene where he was up against a situation where there was like a child and was the child doing something? I can't remember.
Okay,
there was this one where he said he was saying something like he was talking like not to pick up or do something, right?
Oh yeah, so one scene the kid
because he didn't want to shoot this person.
Yeah, the kid had picked up the rocket launcher.
But the kid threw it down.
Yeah, he threw it down.
And so then he didn't.
The first scene when the first opening scene, there was a mom and a kid, and it was our tanks and our soldiers, and I think the mother had either some grenades or something, and was gonna like throw it at our troops, and I think either they shot her or he shot her, but then the kid picks up the grenade and is about ready to like and he shoots the kid.
Yeah,
that movie.
So
was
that's where I thought you were going. I just was completely on a totally different wavelength.
That got dark all of a sudden. Yes, it did.
I know. Sorry.
But then again, the movie we're talking about is pretty dark anyway. It's just depressing.
It was okay. I thought it was all right. I wasn't super crazy about it.
You know what's funny? So Clint Eastwood directed
depressing.
it, and meanwhile, his son was in Fury.
Yeah, his son.
I just remember too.
What's that?
I said he's been in the Fast. He was just in Fast X. He's been like
Scott Eastwood. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I remember at the end. I remember one of my sister-in-law said something about, "Oh, everybody was just so quiet at the end." And well, that's because they didn't play any music at the end. That's why everybody was quiet. There was no closing credit music at all, which was kind of eerie. It just
like
all
first
of a sudden,
what it
there
did.
goes the
So
credits.
after that scene, text shows like he got killed by that guy, and it showed real footage of them bringing his casket to like a football stadium, and everybody, you see all these people
lined up
with American flags. And they played this song. Credits were I think the credits were sort of going.
I think they
and
were.
What I remember is that it had like showed real pictures of him, and then the rest of the credits like played and nothing, no sound.
Yeah,
nothing.
It was eerie.
Yeah, well, it just was sad, and yeah.
I remember when he got killed. I remember that. I'd never heard of him before. I just remember that this thing happened, and then yeah, I'm sorry. That was just me having a brain fart. And then they made the movie, and so I was like, oh, okay, so that's that guy. But
yeah.
it was
the actor
all right.
in there
Bradley
was really
Cooper did a
good though.
job. Yeah,
the guy that's rocket.
So did you? Yeah, I was gonna say, did you recognize he was also in Dungeons and Dragons? He was the little tiny guy that Michelle
That's what
Rodriguez.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
like,
that's
him.
Oh, Bradley Cooper. Yeah,
Bradley Cooper. I remember him from way back when, like when he was in Alias. That's the first time I ever saw him.
Oh, really?
Ooh, Alias.
He's a pretty good actor, actually.
Yes, with Jennifer Garner. That's the first time I saw Jennifer Garner. I loved that show, and then it got really kind of ridiculous at the end, but it was such a fun.
Yeah, I remember my mom. I remember when she said it. She loved, and then it was like she.
It's just like with the prophecies and all this
the
stuff.
End of the world as we know.
Like you should have stopped when you were ahead.
Yeah, but what's funny is the first thing. Hey.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you're super loud.
No, okay.
There
we go.
Well, wait.
That's better. Okay.
So, Sin, you were getting a little mad. You know what that means?
No, don't do.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Go on.
Oh gosh!
I think Dee was saying something.
Yes, I was.
You know what you sounded like, Sin? You know what you sounded like? You was like, no, don't. And then I played and I don't hear you. No, don't. It's like in those movies when something happens.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
Dee, finish.
I was gonna say the first thing I ever saw Jennifer Garner in was Mr. Magoo. It's the movie from the 90s with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah, she played like this princess type character in that film, and I remember I was not long after that I realized it was her. I mean, I knew it like a few years after the fact. Like, oh, is that the same? Yeah, because I liked Mr. Magoo. It was a funny. I like some of those like live action Disney films where they like George of the Jungle and Mr. Magoo and kind of like these smaller or lesser known in theory adaptations that they did. Some of those are really fun.
I never saw that one, so I didn't even know she was in it. But I just remember seeing her in Alias, and
That was kind of
I
her
thought
introduction.
that was her breakout, and she was so good in there.
Yeah,
and I love the whole story, like the storyline with her and her roommate. What happened with her roommate? I was like, no. But yeah, it was so good. I think when it started to go downhill was after season 3.
Yeah,
like 4 and 5 are just kind of like, meow.
Yeah. It's funny. I was just watching. I do like when they do those sometimes. It's different ones. There's Glamour, there's Elle, there's Vogue, but they'll have like on some of these YouTube channels. They'll have the celebrities or actors or actresses. They'll talk about the different looks they've had in different projects or their hair or just kind of how the team came up with a specific look for that. And then she talked about Alias and how they had to like construct all these different looks for all these characters that she was impersonating.
Yeah.
The red wig, I think kind of red pinkish wig that became really.
In the very first episode, she's just strutting around with this hot pink wig or red wig or something, chewing this gum and just acting completely like a totally different person. She did such a good job.
Yeah.
The bloopers were really fun to watch too, because I have I think at least the first 3 seasons on DVD, and the bloopers were fun to watch.
Okay, I have to look those up.
Oh yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think really look like a fun.
Is there like really any point in watching them though, knowing where it like goes?
Yeah, I almost feel like I should just sell them because I just, when a series goes downhill, it tarnishes the previous. You know what I mean, right? Yeah,
like Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones also with Dexter. Dexter was really, really, really good up until after the 5th season was when it started to get a little weak.
You know what didn't fail? Band of Brothers.
Okay.
Anthology shows, they're rare, but that's why I love Fargo, because no matter how it could become the worst show ever, but season 1 and 2 will always be perfect because the story ends. They're self-contained.
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
Just jumping back a bit. What I was going to say before I realized I couldn't speak anymore was that according to a copyright filing, X-Men 97 has a tentative release date of January 3rd, 2004.
Nice.
Okay.
2004? 2004 or 2024?
January 3rd.
24.
Or 2024, yeah.
This is the upcoming new cartoon, right?
I'm almost more excited to see the show, to see if they're going to do live action movies based on the show. You know what I mean? It'd be weird if Disney's like, here's the show, and then here's the X-Men movies, but they're totally like different. You know, like, are they going to try to like use the same characters and maybe the same feel as the animated show? Because they're making live action X-Men movies, right?
I've been reading those Uncanny X-Men comics lately.
You've been reading them? You mean the current ones? Or
no, the 90s ones.
Oh,
but
nice.
The problem is
I had a bunch of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they're good. It's just the problem is I'm reading only the Uncanny X-Men, and the problem is you have to read other comics to connect with that plot.
That's always the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't do a review of it. I got to do like a analyzation of it or discuss it about just the art, the comic.
Yeah. That's why I got out of comics, because it was like they were always like, and if you want to get the whole story, make sure to check this issue out from the.
It's like a soap opera. It's never ending, and all these things just go on, and they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
But I like the art style in them. Like, if I had to pick an American art style, it would be that.
Do you know what number you're on? What issue number? Because I was like in the 300s.
I finished the 337 issue.
Okay. I'm wondering if I had that. I got issue 300, and then I got a bunch between that and 350. I may have had that.
My uncles collect a lot of it, but they're missing multiple issues, I think.
To answer that last comment, like, yes, they were, and it got dragged so badly all across the internet that they were like, yeah, no, it's out of here. So
I'm so glad too.
Yeah, it looked like a mess.
Yeah, just the thought of it is no.
I'll just say
they
real
made
quick.
a smart decision.
I don't want to go off too much, but I was distracted because Simon got me to read an article on was H.P. Lovecraft racist, or I just typed. I believe he was. I just typed H.P. Lovecraft racist, and man, he was pretty racist. It's a bummer. It's like not in his writing. You can read his books and like get past it, because a lot of the stuff at the time had kind of like stuff that today would be considered racist, but it was just in the descriptions of minorities or whatever. But was more just kind of like everyone was kind of that way. But like his personal opinion was fucking bad, and I'm like, oh man, because his writing's really good. And now I'm looking at this book like, I don't know, like.
Well, there's this author in Japan. I think he made like this light novel. Something. It was made into an anime, but what's funny. So he's a communist, okay, but he's able to distinguish when he makes the story how in there it's like an alternate reality of World War One, except it's like World War II combined, and they're still bashing communists in there, even though the author is a communist. So it's like he could at least distinguish making a story, even though I do not agree with his viewpoint on that.
It's like if I knew the viewpoint of every artist, it would suck, because I'm sure there would be a lot more that racist or something that I disagreed with. You know, that I would be like,
I think it would be a problem if the person was like a pedophile. Then that would be that would be like, yeah, no.
Yeah. All that stuff. It sucks.
What?
Anyways.
Not ancient one, bro.
I want to mention this. I didn't realize this came out in 2014, but has anybody seen The Interview?
That movie's funny. Oh, yeah, I like it.
I haven't seen that, but I remember the ruckus.
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
That was a mess. No, I remember like it became this like huge political issue and just the backlash. I was like,
I forgot that. Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember how wasn't Kim Jong-un threatening us or something if we released it?
You know what else though? It actually made two things, because not just the Sony or not just the political, but someone like didn't downloaded it and leaked it, and it was like at the front of some kind of.
It was the Sony leaks. There's a huge leak,
and that would made the news as well as like Korea being kind of pissed off at it. But that was kind of like, oh, fuck you, Korea. No one cared about that. Everyone's like, yeah, we do what we want. I mean, we had already made fun of them enough.
It was Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah.
James Franco's always kind of sucked, but he was funny. He can be funny too. Like that movie, he can be funny. This movie was funny.
Yeah, I was shocked. Even just conceptually, I was like, oh, we're going out of our way to like. I mean, it's like you're not making any. I guess there's no doubt about who you're talking about and making that like suggesting that kind of stuff. Which I mean, I think that's one thing that people appreciate, like comedy that goes there. But I was like, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Seth Rogen actually tried to fight
Team America,
fight that nonsense and try to put it in movie theaters. I thought.
I mean, Team America had some. I'm so Ronry. I'm a Ritter Ronry.
Oh, Team America
with Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
like, that's what we do in America. You know, we just gotta make fun of them. So, but Putin.
So, have you seen that, D? Have all the rest of you, or is Colin the only one?
No, I saw it. It's been some years though, and I almost felt like not worried, but I almost felt like weird when I was watching. I'm just like, is anybody watching my my feed as I'm watching this film? I was like,
oh no! In America, they want you to hate Korea. At least it was weird when I thought it was the weirdest thing about Trump being president was all of a sudden he was like, yeah, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Russia, and I was like, I thought America hated those dudes. Like, come on, can we at least agree on who we hate on? Like, we got to flip every time a new party. Like, there's got to be something.
Well, see, because I know. I think that was around the time Kim Jong.
Oh yeah,
well, he's still in power still, but I remember he was very so radical. Like he was wanting to make nukes.
He's still very radical.
Yeah, he's
an absolutely atrocious human being. This story, Sashi, I was listening to a true crime podcast called Case File, and it was so crazy the way this thing happened. So these people hired these girls under the guise of them playing these live video pranks on people that was supposed to be like up on YouTube and make all this money and everything. And well, this is what the girls were saying. So then one of the pranks, they had these girls do this for a bit. And then they get to this, they tell them they're going to take them to like an airport. And there's this prank that they're going to play on this guy, and they put this stuff on their hands. And they told the girls to go up to this guy and just like put their hands on him, like on his skin, his face, what covers eyes and then just walk away. And they did this.
So the girls didn't know?
The girls, according to both of these girls, they did not know. They were both hired under the guise of playing these pranks. You know how they do pranks, on YouTube or whatever. I hadn't heard that either, but that's how the story started off. And I was like, wow.
The girls lived or died?
So the girls, they washed their hands off. They started to feel weird and funny because it was hurting their skin. They washed their hands off. They did not die. They got in trouble, but I can't remember. I think one or both of them might have somehow been released from jail or something like that. They did get in trouble because the prosecution didn't believe that they were totally innocent. But at the same time, I could see that being a thing that they could be fooled with, you know? Yeah, they thought they were in a prank video, and that Case File episode was very, very, very interesting because it's like, wow, this is weird. This is crazy. And then the further along it gets, then you realize, oh, this is about how he had his brother assassinated.
That is
Holy
crazy.
cow! I had no
That is
idea.
crazy,
I
yeah.
knew there were women involved, but I didn't know what I thought they knew what they were doing. I thought they were just
Yeah.
assassins, but apparently they
That is crazy.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that was a tangent. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sort of. I
But I
mean,
was
we
gonna-
okay,
well,
sort
okay,
of.
it
We
goes
were
back to
talking
the
about that
interview.
movie. Okay.
The last one that I saw, I think this year was Unbroken.
Hey,
True
Chris.
story.
Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening, panel and chat. Yeah. Unbroken
Was that the one about the guy in the POW
in the
camp?
camp in the Japanese camp.
Oh, the only reason I remember that is because I know that was, I don't know if that was her feature directorial debut or.
That was Angelina Jolie, right?
Yeah, yeah, she directed that. That's what I remembered about it. But I remember
Right.
it looked like a lot to experience. I want to say it came out, I feel like it was one of those films that came out around Christmas, and I was like, this is not something I need to watch during the holidays. I already had
Right.
my struggles
Yeah.
with some days, so I was like, maybe
Yeah.
But that's life.
But sometimes people, they don't want to. Sometimes it's
That's
a bit much,
life.
Arturo.
It's the circle of life, as horrible as it is.
2014 had some good like creepy horror movies. I was gonna bring up a few.
Yeah, bring up some.
One I watched is more, I guess not maybe horror, but kind of a creepy movie, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I
watched
have still not watched that movie.
It's good. I mean, I feel like I watched it. I don't remember it all. I watched it on Netflix late and high, and I remember like liking it and feeling like maybe it could have been better, but I was pretty engaged by it. You know, it had a real creepy tone to it, and Jake Gyllenhaal again had an interesting performance.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember being mad because at the time, this is like when it was. I want to say when it was announced initially. Me and a few people were thinking before we heard more, we thought it was going to be a Nightcrawler solo movie as far as
right, X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men. Yeah, exactly.
And then we found out it was like, okay, no thanks. Like
Right.
it was just like out of frustration. Now, granted, I'm willing to give it a chance now, but I was irritated when I realized that wasn't it because like I really do want to see like Nightcrawler.
I think it's on Netflix. I think it is it's worth a watch. I think it's creepy. It's weird because you're watching. He's the main character and he's a creepy guy. So it's that one. I think.
I have
Story of
seen
your
Tusk.
life.
I have seen Tusk, actually.
Did you like
I
Tusk?
didn't watch Tusk.
It was crazy.
I really liked it.
It was different for sure.
Yeah.
It was gross. Some scenes were pretty gross with that guy and what he became, but I liked it all right. It's just I probably won't ever watch it again.
Did you know that 300 Rise of an Empire came out this year?
No, I forgot. You're thinking this is not the first one. This is the
No.
second one.
This is like the second one. I remember when the second one came out. I'm like, man, it's been like how many years since the first one?
First one was 2009, I thought.
6.
Yeah. So it been
2006. Seriously, that long ago? Holy
because
cow!
I remember when the second one came out.
Wow.
Like, man, it's been like years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
will
never
say,
saw.
I remember watching Rise of the Empire because I don't. Let me make it very clear. I didn't dislike 300 at all, but I think I was not as enamored with it as other folks were. But I did. You know, it was cool from a visual and like I got the appeal. It just didn't click 100% for me. But I will say, so considering my initial feeling, I actually really liked Rise of an Empire, and I think it made me appreciate 300 just a little bit more than I did before. Yeah, because I was thinking like, or initially it was kind of like, oh, sequel, like, does that work? But I remember like as I watched it and got to the end of it, I was like, I actually enjoyed this. So yeah, I have to rewatch it and see if that still holds up now. But yeah, I remember actually liking it a lot more than I expected.
Who directed that one? Not Zack Snyder again, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple other horror movies I want to mention. Did anyone see It Follows?
Yes.
What do you think of that one?
I thought it was a very well done horror movie. I like the concept.
I think I had a high expectation because I heard it was like so good, and instead I was like, yeah, it was good. I like the concept too, and mean, it had some scary parts to it. I don't think it was like a classic. I think my favorite though of the year that was maybe a classic was the Babadook. I really liked
Oh yeah, the Babadook. Why can't you be normal?
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
yeah. That's become a
I
meme.
really liked the ending and how I felt like it had a really powerful ending that kind of tied the movie together and made me see the movie in a new way, which I feel like never happens in a horror movie. I always kind of feel like the horror movie, like, and now the threat's done and we're done. Like now the threat's maybe the good guy died and but it was like I feel like the Babadook had a really good like that's what it was all about, and it really resonated, as well as being kind of a traditionally good scary ghost kind of dark spirit, which usually I don't like those that much, but maybe it's because the ending worked and the scares felt like it felt creepy and scary when I watched it, and I really liked the Babadook.
I had a friend who couldn't finish it because he thought it was so scary.
Really?
And we all encouraged him to watch it, and then afterwards he's like, "Oh, that was actually kind of sweet."
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought it was like a tragic ending. Like it was really sad.
So
no, it's about managing trauma and grief.
yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
heard.
yeah, it was effective, but it was sad because to think that she was living with that trauma.
Well, that's just human life, you know.
Yeah, it was really like a powerful, like, oh man, so like that would be such the nightmare scenario. Like that's the nightmare more than what the movie was about was the monster in the closet. But what she went through was like a really tragic psychological damaging event. And connecting the two and making in the movie was just really well done. I thought.
I have a very deep personal connection to that movie, actually.
How's that?
What's that?
Oh, it's just because of life experiences.
Oh, really?
When it was 8, I found my mother in bed, basically with blood pouring out of her side of her mouth and glassy eyes.
Oh my god.
She's had some sort of seizure, and it completely changed her personality.
Oh my god.
And she had complete retrograde amnesia. So, yeah, that's movie spoke to me very deeply.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this
I did. I think I mentioned
one
it before.
time. Yeah, that's so horrific.
I don't get it. I would have remembered if I heard that before. That's That's tough. That's man. That's.
So I had heard that movie that it was supposed to be just like a symbolic manifestation of her grief. But then I've heard that you could look at it either way. It was just a symbolic manifestation, or it was actually a real monster.
Oh, I don't see how.
I don't know.
I think it was a real monster after seeing that movie. Like, I don't see how it's like so explicit. To me, it's incredibly explicitly makes the point that it associates it with her grief. Like, I really don't see how you would not see that unless you skip the ending. Like,
yeah, I've only seen it once. It's been playing on Shudder, or Shudder or Pluto TV, and I haven't watched it, like paid full attention to it again since the very first time I saw it.
I think it's really clear myself. I don't know.
Did anybody seen Big Hero 6?
I have not.
Still haven't seen it. Yeah.
Can I just ask, what is Monster in the Closet about? Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't. I was gonna say I haven't. Don't think I've heard of this one.
I don't remember that one either.
Before. So, so Arturo watched this Gina Carano movie that I had suggested to him called In the Blood. And I remembered that the very first time I saw it, I enjoyed it a lot because her acting was surprisingly good to me in there. Like, because she's not the strongest, best actor ever, but there was this part, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the scenario is her husband goes missing. They're on their honeymoon in this Spanish-speaking Caribbean island, and her husband goes missing. And just the scenes where she's going around all the different hospitals looking for him, I thought she did a really good job because you could feel the desperation. You think about how scary that would be, especially if you can't fully speak the language and she's trying to talk to them. And anyway, I thought the premise was interesting, but it was also a bit more comedic than I expected it
Well,
to be.
the villain,
Especially
like the
when
villain.
when the villain shows up, some of the stuff he says is really funny.
I forgot some of the lines, but then what's his name is also in here.
Geronimo. Oh, yeah, Danny Trejo. I always call him
Yeah,
Geronimo.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
He's in here. Dumb and Dumber 2 also came out.
That shouldn't have. No need for that.
Wait, this was the one with the
Jim
same
Carrey.
guys. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this wasn't the Dumb and Dumberer.
That's what I was.
I feel like they didn't need to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first one's such a classic, and this one.
The first one was like, I'd be completely happy if the first one was never around. I hate that movie so much.
I will say it was one of those. Because see, I was more so into with as far as Jim Carrey. I liked Ace Ventura and then The Mask.
The Mask. I like The Mask. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my. Especially that one. That was like my big Jim Carrey thing. And I remember with Dumb and Dumber, it was just like, and I was young, so you think I probably would have found it more funny, but I was like, this is strange.
Yeah, it was too stupid for me to appreciate.
Isn't that like Corey Michaels' movie's favorite
that's
movie
his
of all
favorite movie. I just don't like dumb comedy too much.
Overly
And,
scripted and stuff. I feel the
yeah,
same way.
it was just yeah, I couldn't. So yeah, we did see the second one. I remember my husband loves the first one, and he used to watch it. Sometimes he would watch it every night.
Oh,
Good.
Look. Oh, you know what that means? You know what that means?
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Okay.
I like how the audio cuts off her complaining about you about to play the audio.
That's what makes
And if you didn't notice, the title was like The Rage.
Yeah, The Rage.
The Rage.
But then anyway, the second movie comes out. We did see the second one, not on the big screen, but we saw it at home. And I remember he wasn't as thrilled about it as because he really, really likes the first one, and he didn't think the second one was very good.
Right.
You watched Titanic a lot.
It's okay. Let's moving on. Divergent came out in 2014.
Shame, sin. Shame.
What?
Let's continue. Divergent.
Is it the movie with the Divergent? Don't we have that?
It's based on a series of books.
Don't we have that?
And I think I listened to. Yeah, we have the first two movies.
Isn't the third one called Detergent?
Detergent. I don't remember what the third one's called. I remember that one was one that I like. I like the first movie. I like the books too. Oh gosh, you should. It's better if we all just forget about Halloween Ends. It brings out the worst in me to just think about that and talk about that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I remember you going ham on Twitter for the longest. I was like,
oh my gosh, because some people were just being ridiculous.
Oh, but you already know what it was. I was so like, it's one thing for this film to not be great. That's fine. Like, at some point I can get over that. What I can't get over is y'all like trying to like tell everybody. I was just like, how are you going to go through these mental gymnastics and make everybody is wrong for like. I'm like, and that's why I said, what did I do? The disappointing movies video that I did. It's just like, did anyone say that about Friday the 13th? Did anyone say that about Nightmare on Elm Street? Like, how do you suddenly, or Hellraiser and Pinhead? Like, how do you suddenly say that? Oh, how dare you be focused on the
Michael Myers
figure of the franchise? Don't really care. It's Halloween. I was like,
you're just not a true fan. I guess you need to look in the mirror and see what kind of a fan you really are. It's like, dude, I was watching this movie before you were born. Don't give me that. It's just like, what? I can't with some of these people. Like, you're just not a true fan. And
people should go watch my review for it. But I do express I asked myself the question: what am I watching? What am I watching? Like, that was my thought. What the heck am I watching? Like, this.
Not a band geek.
Yeah, I know. Oh my. Okay, so no, the movie lost me, as I said in my review, when he let Corey go. That whole scene. No, I was like, okay, no, I'm done. I'm checked out of this movie mentally.
You
and
know
then
what
it
that
just
means?
got worse. And no,
You know
don't
what
do it.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Stop!
You gotta
Well,
stop getting angry.
D has
And you
disappeared.
You gotta
Just
stop
meditate,
getting
son.
upset
Just
about things.
meditate. Just take some deep breaths.
Right, David Gordon Green. And then I saw him in Bones and All not long after, and I was just like, I got my hackles raised.
I'm
Like,
sure.
oh, there's David Gordon Green. Anyway, okay.
Isn't he like working on the
Will he-
Exorcist remake?
Yes, he's supposed to be. What's
He's
that?
probably
D?
gonna wreck that one.
So will he ever be able to redeem himself in your eyes, even if he does like the best project ever in the future?
I kind of doubt it. He's left a really bad taste in my mouth. I just like seriously. He could have salvaged it, maybe. I mean, Kills was already not good.
Right.
But he could have salvaged it, and no, he didn't. It just got worse. I didn't think it could get worse, but it got worse. Yeah, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is actually a pretty solid horror movie. People are trying to draw comparisons between this and Halloween Ends. Oh, eventually people are going to realize how great Halloween Ends is. No, they're not. No.
No.
I haven't even seen the Season of the Witch, and I can tell you it's not the same situation
No,
at all.
no,
And
not
I feel
the same.
The only reason people are so hard on that film is because it's, Mike Myers that isn't at the center of it, but that doesn't make it a bad film in and of itself. Now,
Right.
And I've told you before that I think would have been cool if they had kind of gone with the concept that they were trying to start, but
the anthology, the whole thing about that. Yes, he's supposed to be, and I guess we'll see. I guess
he's gonna wreck it. Let's go.
Okay, sorry, that was a tangent again.
I'm
It's
pretty
easy
much
to do.
done talking about like at least my movies of 2014. I kind of have like a multiple movies here.
Okay, well, there's different movies that I wrote down just to mention, or like.
Well, which ones have we seen that I don't like? It's been a bit.
Well, there's several you haven't seen. So there's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Sabotage, which was also directed by the same guy who made Fury.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's really hard. Say what?
My mom's watching Fubar right now.
Yeah, you were saying. I'm gonna wait.
I haven't watched it. She likes it.
Oh, okay.
Looks
She does.
funny.
I think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that scene as well.
I haven't seen it yet. I think my brothers and I are gonna watch it together when we're all together a couple weeks from now.
Okay.
We're gonna watch it. So
and don't forget about our it depends on how you want to do it, but don't forget about the documentary.
Yeah, I'm fine with whether you want to do the watch party or you want to do a discussion afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Whichever. Okay. Same. We just got to figure out what we actually want to do.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see it though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. It's a multi-parter. I think it's going to be. I didn't know that. Okay. I think it's a multi-part. Yeah. Thing. Okay. It's probably based. Well, I mean, obviously, it's based on his life. Duh. Total Recall, the book he made, which was actually really, really, really good book. Okay. I highly recommend it. Okay, so A Walk Among the Tombstones, which is also a Liam Neeson movie. I thought that was pretty good. There was a movie called The Drop starring Tom Hardy and Noomi Rapace.
Oh, I like both.
You had it. I was going to say, I don't see a lot of people saying her name the right way. Yeah, Rapace.
Rapace, yeah, sometimes I doubt myself. Did you see that, Colin?
No, I might like it. I like both those actors a lot.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I think maybe was James Gandolfini in it too. I can't remember for sure.
Movie, thriller action.
It's not really. It's more like a crime drama.
Okay. Pretty good.
I watched it mostly because Tom Hardy was in it, but I thought it was pretty decent. Oh, then there's also a movie called The Guest, which has the dude that used to play in Downton Abbey. It's like that's like a horror movie, horror type movie.
What's that about? I might have saw it.
He poses as a friend of a family member who has died in the war. He comes and it's basically he starts to terrorize the family. I mean, it was pretty good. And the reason it stuck in my brain is because he plays a totally different character than the person he plays in Downton Abbey.
Who did he play in Downton Abbey?
He was the one who was married to the older daughter, was it Mary with the short hair? No.
Oh, was it Sybil?
It was the girl who. So it was a lady member in Downton Abbey. She had sex with the guy, and the guy died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Mary. Sorry.
Why is she married?
The initial one or the other one?
Well, the first guy she married.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Oh, he's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just such a different role for him.
Yeah.
And he looked different too, because he had kind of slimmed down and he looked different in his face. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. What else? Cold in July, which was a movie based on a book. I listened to the book and I thought it was pretty funny, the dialogue in it, but it's not a comedy, but just the dialogue in it was kind of funny. And that had Don Johnson and Michael C. Hall in it. And maybe, what's that guy's name that used to be with Jessica Lange? Oh, geez. Sam something or other.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a crime drama as well. And I saw Ex Machina.
Oh wait, okay, wait. You just mentioned Ex Machina.
He came back. You brought him back. Let's go.
I know we talked about that before, but I was just gonna mention Ex Machina. That was one of my favorite movies of the year. But I think we have talked about it. You
These
didn't
are the
like
girls
it,
you have complete control over.
Because what? Oh, it's a girl.
It's
No. I didn't fall for her once. The whole time I was like, that robot is not to be trusted. And I was right. That movie, I really liked it. And I think that movie was like when I was like, damn, I really like Oscar Isaac. Before that, I was like, this guy's pretty good. And I think how he acted in that movie really got me to, I think he's a really cool, interesting actor. And that was a good role for him. Like, you weren't sure about him. You thought he was a cool guy. And at the same time, you're kind of like, this guy's kind of scary, a little unhinged. But then you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of like him. And I just like how he was, like, you weren't sure about it. And I like how the whole, it was like a thriller that nothing ever happened in almost. Like the whole time you're waiting to see what's going to happen. It's just conversations. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And I like that Alex Garland, I think he wrote, he basically he's uncredited director of Dredd, writer and director of Dredd. And I guess would this have been his follow-up maybe? I don't know. He's good though, and this movie is really, really good, I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say this film has like one of the best WTF moments I've seen in a film in a long time. At that time, like when he walks in, and then Oscar Isaac's character and I want to say the Asian and android or cyborg, whatever I can't think of what you call it. But when Get Down Saturday Night comes on, and they start doing I was like, I really was looking around. I was like, is this the same film? Like, I know it's the same characters, but I was like, going on. Like, I didn't know whether to laugh or be worried or, the whole sequence.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I just remember I was annoyed at the end of it, and that this was the first movie that I noticed Oscar Isaacs as an actor.
I would say too, another thing I like about it, and I also like about the Alex Garland movie Devs, or show Devs.
I remember seeing a trailer for that.
Which is that I really like the idea that, I mean, living in the present time, 21st century, each year more so, it feels like there's all sorts of crazy shit going on that we don't know. Who knows what the billionaires and the labs, Google, and all people are doing. And these movies kind of feel like they're like, let's go see what these crazy, rich, all-powerful people are doing that we don't know about. And I get hooked in on that because I'm not saying it's like I buy that, this is what's going on, but it just feels like I know something's going on. So I like getting into a movie that's like we're going down that path of what creepy sci-fi shit is actually happening. So wait, I'm reading that, Simon. Who is the Mark Zucker analog in the? Is it the?
No, it's the guy we're talking about, Oscar Isaac.
I assume that's who you meant. Yeah.
Oh, because he's just a nerd, but he's so cool in the movie, and it's Oscar Isaac. He's good looking, and I didn't. Yeah, I guess.
I never perceived him as cool until I saw him in Dune. I really liked his performance in Dune.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember
he was the father.
Yeah, I can't remember what his title was, but yeah,
I don't remember.
His title was Daddy.
No, it's Duke. Duke Leto.
It was Duke Leto Atreides.
Yeah, Atreides.
Yeah, that.
Atreides is the last name.
Oh my gosh, no.
But yeah, Ex Machina was like a highlight, and Alex Garland.
I know, right?
Did I mention I saw Men finally? Did I bring that up last chat?
Oh, you said you were going to see it when?
Oh yeah.
Because remember we talked for a while after the stream.
Because I watched it on the stream. Simon post.
Okay.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I mean, I'm thinking back now. I think it was. It's kind of by the end. Some stuff's open to interpretation, which I was all right with. And I mean, it wasn't like a great. I don't think I liked it as much as Ex Machina, but I liked it more than the average horror movie. I think there was a lot of things to like about it, and stuff that maybe doesn't work or didn't work for me or didn't work for everyone. But like it had, first of all, it had really funny. I don't know if you know, but the guy who plays all the men, like one guy plays a bunch of the men. In one of the main roles he plays, like the first guy she meets, is like the caretaker of the house. Like the way he talked, his accent was so funny and enjoyable to me that it was almost my favorite part of the whole movie was just that guy's scenes. Because he was just like this old British guy, this friendly old British guy. And then there was a few genuinely creepy moments where I was like, I got goosebumps, where I was like, oh shit, like, which I really enjoy when a movie can do that for me. The bridge.
This is what it's like to be one of my victims.
No. The tunnel.
Was it woke at its core?
The what?
Is it woke at its core, man?
I don't even know what that would mean, but I don't think.
Was it man-hating? Which is exactly how this movie came across to me. That's why I have no interest in watching it.
I don't think so. No, I don't think he's trying to make any kind of statement about society. I see it as it's the character and the woman, the character that the woman is. She's just gone through a really terrible event, which they allude to in the opening scene. Which I don't even know if I should say because they allude to in the opening scene, and then they kind of give you more glimpses. Which she's been through a really bad divorce and event with her ex-husband, so she's in a bad spot with men herself. So she's kind of like, I didn't see it at all. He's like as he's making any kind of point about society. I saw it as like she's in a spot right now where she's mad about men in general, or maybe just her ex, and she's kind of that's externalizing in other men around her. But it's more about her damaged relationship that she just got over, and she's trying to get over this damaged relationship, and it's too traumatic for her to do that, and so she keeps kind of seeing that in her current, which is like I almost don't know if you have it. I'm there for the creepy moments, and the acting was good.
Is it actually horror? So also it makes it come across, or to me, that pretty much all the men in here are going to be baddies and complete assholes and all that crap. No. See, this is what happened in that movie, Promising Young Woman, and I hated that movie so much. I did not like that movie.
I don't think
it was. Yes, D. We've talked about this before. It was so blatantly. It was so blatantly misandrous. I just could not.
Oh wait.
Don't do it.
Story has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Ben, you're gonna have to manage your emotions for the rest of this stream.
I know, right?
Watch Men. I think Men was good. I think honestly, any reviewer who said it's man-hating or woke or it's just trend words, and they're just looking to be relevant. They want to write.
Sometimes that's definitely the case, but sometimes it's very obvious.
That's a problem right now because I get two sides of things.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Oh, it's woke." Other people say, "Oh, we like it." So I'm at this point now where, okay,
I think you'd have to strain to
You
make.
probably have to either look at it
about
and
society,
see, or if you're just not interested in it, all right. Usually, I can tell when something's like going off whatever deep end, but then other times I'm looking, it's like I don't really see a fallout. But that's the thing; it's hard to say now these days.
A lot of it just depends on the film, I guess. I don't know. I have really
I
no
think
desire.
Alex Garland is way too much of.
I feel like this is
He's
something
not.
I should Wikipedia.
It's not. I would say it's not, and don't not see it because you've heard that. That really, it's just too trendy for people. The thing, it's the character. It's about the character. The lead character is a woman, and she doesn't trust men right now, and so people can easily read into that and say, "Oh, it's whatever." But in another sense, though, it's like, what can people not make movies about women not trusting men because it'll just instantly be labeled it's trying to make some kind of bigger point about society. I mean, I think it's very clear the movie's not trying to make any point about society or statement about culture, and it's just
about this one woman and
this
her,
woman is mad. Not even mad. This
men.
woman doesn't trust men right now because of this experience, this bad relationship she just got out of with this needy guy. And so she's trying to have alone time and be distant. And she's reading into this thing of almost like men are a little too friendly sometimes and a little overbearing or whatever. All the typical things that have been true for hundreds of years. And she's just kind of like, let me have my space. And as an audience member, you're kind of like, well, how much of this is real and how much of this is in her head? It's not like
how much of that is like her.
It's not all like it's all preachy. It's all preachy. It's almost like, oh, what's going on? Is this like a dream or is this like what's real right now?
Because does it make sense at the end or is it stupid?
It's not stupid, but it also leaves it open to interpretation.
See, it's A24 though, so this makes me.
Well, it's Alex Garland. It's Alex
Garland. Loves A24 film. He's a huge proponent of them. So yeah,
it's Alex Garland. I like that it leaves.
Okay, okay. Tell me what else he's done.
Ex Machina and Dredd.
Ex Machina and
Ex
what are the
and Dredd?
The one with Carl Urban in it.
Oh, so he did Dredd.
Okay, so I like Dredd.
And Devs.
Okay, all right.
And Ex Machina and
Because if you were gonna say like if you're gonna say like he was an Aronofsky or something, I'd be like, yeah, no, I won't.
No, yeah,
because that guy's weird. His stuff is weird.
He also did Annihilation.
Annihilation.
I did like Annihilation. Was that the one with what's her face in it?
Yeah, no, you don't like
Natalie Portman.
But that could have been because you don't like Natalie Portman.
Right.
Maybe.
I just remember that the music in the credits, like when you like listen to it in the theater, it was so creepy. It's like, gosh, it
that
gives
had Oscar Isaac in it too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, you were getting ready to say something, D?
Oh, me? Oh, well, two things. Because I was going to say, like, I said, starring your favorite actress.
Yeah.
And then with Colin, I was going to say, did you enjoy the birth sequence? I'm not going to go into detail.
Oh, well, actually, no. I thought that was, in a weird way, maybe the goofiest point of the movie. It was hard to be horrified by it. It was more interesting. It was more the cerebral aspect of what does this represent? Because I wasn't horrified by it, and I didn't take it literally. I was more like, this has gone off the rails, and it was near the end, so I could feel like it was kind of like going crazy, and I was just really like, okay, where's this going? Like, because I feel like, yeah, it was interesting though. It was interesting.
What did you think, D?
I think there was way more parts of the movie that were way more interesting and memorable.
Oh, see, I didn't see it at the time because I was worried. I had to go look. I remember I was asking, and I didn't want to spoil it, but I was worried about what it was going to be because it looked like I couldn't tell if it was a woman in peril type situation, and like I get real sensitive to anything with women under attack, and as far as being stalked or being under threat, like that stuff like that I'm sensitive to as far as imagery. So I was worried about like what I was going to see or what was going to be depicted, and apparently it's not that. It's a little bit. It's not that. Like I'm thinking like I can't watch like something like Last House on Your Left. What is it? The Last House on the Left or anything like that? That's
Oh
just,
yeah, that.
that's
And I Spit on Your Grave. That. Those
yeah,
ones, yeah.
that's not for me.
Yeah, I don't like either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like humans in peril. I don't like seeing a man in that situation either. Really,
No.
it's just more common. You usually see a woman in that more often than a man.
Yeah, it's not any better to see men in that situation either. But yeah, so that's usually not quite my thing. So I kind of stayed away initially. But I'm kind of intrigued to see it now, although I know my eyes are going to regret seeing that sequence at the end. So I'll deal with it. But I also agree with what Cream said about that mutated bear scene. That definitely stood out to me, especially when I realized that scream and that cry.
The scream with the bear was epic.
That was crazy. Yeah.
That was epically freaky. I want to say one thing that's kind
Isn't it based off of a book?
Annihilation is, yeah.
Yeah, Annihilation is.
This is kind of funny, you'll tease me, but it's also funny if I may. Or Simon, you got something?
Okay, wait. Are you guys talking about Annihilation or Men right now with the bear?
The bear is Annihilation.
The bear's Annihilation.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that Alex Garland is a much more prolific writer than director. He wrote The Beach, not the novel, not the screenplay, but the novel it was based on.
Yeah.
He also wrote 28 Days Later and Sunshine.
Yes.
Oh, I like 28 Days Later.
Yeah. He's a good writer. Yeah. I want to say something funny. It's a weird coincidence. That's what I'm pointing out. First, because I said I watched not Midsummer. What's the other one?
Hereditary
for the first time, and it was like shortly after I'd watched Men for the first time. One of the freakiest moments in Hereditary, it's near the end when the kid's running around or something, and he's in the living room, and like that blonde dude is naked in the doorway.
Spoiler alert.
It's not really. It's a blonde dude naked in the doorway, smiling with these big white teeth, just like standing there smiling at him as all this other shit's going on. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, and you had seen him once earlier in the movie, just this creepy smile. And it was just a naked dude standing there smiling. And it was one of the creepiest parts of the whole movie. And
I forgot that guy. I forgot about that.
And in Men, it was there's at one point a naked dude's following her around. It's like she looks out the window and a naked dude's just standing there looking in the window. And it was so unsettling. It was really one of the most scary. So 2 horror movies. I've never seen any horror movie use that as a scary scene out of my whole life. And then 2 horror movies in a row is just like, we'll just have a naked dude just standing there creepily in the scene.
Yeah.
And weird. And it's like, it was really uncomfortable. I did not like that. Just a naked dude looking at you in the darkness. Like, it's so simple and so.
Yeah.
We jumped.
Now you know where the other half lives, Colin.
I'm not going there. I'm resisting any kind of.
We jumped in time from.
I know we
2014
have.
something or other.
Yeah, I was going to say one thing about this year that I noticed. This is the year that Eva Green starred in 2 sequels to 2 adaptations of graphic novels that were not received as well as the initial film, but she was the best part of both of them. The first one was 300: Rise of an Empire, and the second one was Sin City: A Day.
Yes. Good catch. It's a unique catch there.
I haven't seen either of those, so I wouldn't have known that. Interesting trivia.
Can we discuss a film that I think is underrated and could have really played out into an interesting franchise, but
of course,
but got ruined? Dracula Untold.
Oh, the one with Luke Evans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that one, but it was something that was playing that I wasn't paying complete attention to. So I almost feel like I would like to rewatch it because I have a feeling that I might would like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can add
I'm going to step away. I've never seen it.
Sorry, go ahead, D.
No, you're good. I was going to say you can add that to the list as well.
Okay. Dracula Untold.
I'd love to rewatch that one. Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking of some other films that I forgot to mention, but you go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say I liked it because I've always, even though I kind of got a little off of it because whenever I obsess about something, I kind of have to take a break from it. So from a very young age, I was into vampires, Interview with the Vampire, Vampire in Brooklyn, I remember there was a couple of vampire episodes on Goosebumps in the Goosebumps book series. I've always just thought that was cool. They've been cool, probably the coolest horror figures to me. And so, you know, and I've seen Dracula. I've seen a lot of the different iterations of that, Nosferatu and all that. So I thought that how they, and I don't know, I've liked, I like the idea because they did that with Ever After also, where you take a pre-existing story, you give this historical backdrop to it and kind of explore it from that standpoint. So I kind of liked how they kind of got into the mythology of the character and explored it in a different way. I also thought, I don't know if it's Charles Dance, the one who played the main father in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but him as the kind of the initial kind of the central vampire, and his performance, and then Luke Evans and just the way they explore him trying to do something, you know, to save his family, trying to do something noble, and then that kind of being corrupted by this, you know, force that's taken over him, and then how they tie that into the initial Dracula story at the very, very end. I wish they had continued with that, but unfortunately, the Mummy screwed up what was going to be the Dark.
Oh, so that was part of that whole thing? I didn't realize that. I thought the Mummy was the first one.
It was technically the first one, but it was like that was kind of the initial start. I want to say
okay.
was going to be a part of it initially, but they were kind of starting to like lay the groundwork for it. And I feel like the Mummy was the initial, like kind of the first introduction of, oh, this really is going to be a universe. And I think they were going to rope that kind of the past, that other stuff back in. But then, you know, the Mummy didn't do well. And I will say it wasn't the best movie, if I'm being honest. And I think after seeing the Brendan Fraser, because that's one of my favorite like action adventure films.
Yeah, that's a fun film.
Yeah, and so it was just kind of like, not even just because it was, I mean, it's fine. I mean, yes, it's frustrating because it's a reboot and a remake. My biggest issue was that a lot of it just felt like a Tom Cruise vehicle. And I felt like what was great about the initial Mummy is that they had this horror aspect to it, but they got deeper into like the backstory of Imhotep and his abilities and his powers and what his goal was and just all these things that were happening. And I felt like the new Mummy just didn't have that kind of complexity. It was just too cut and dry for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is what I was getting ready to mention to you. This is about Luke Evans. Have you ever seen him in a movie called No One Lives?
Oh, I don't think I have.
I like that film. It's violent and bloody and everything, but I like
such a family friendly movie.
I had gotten a mistake. I thought it was a 2014 film, but it's a 2013 film. So I might have mentioned it during the last live stream. You had technical difficulties last live stream, so you were gone for most of it. But yeah, that one, I liked him in that. But also tying back into the Dracula thing, have you read the book or listened to the book called The Historian?
No, I will pull that up though.
It's a long ass book all about like Dracula and this woman's investigation of Dracula. And maybe it's not something that's super action packed, but there's a ton of history told in there, and also like the whole lore of Dracula and all this. And I found it fascinating, and it had been optioned into like a movie or a series or something, but it's never happened. But I really love the audiobook of it. Anyway, the stuff you were saying about the Dracula Untold made me think of The Historian.
Yeah.
You might find it interesting. I don't know. You might feel like it's boring as all, but I was never bored one moment. The vampire
I like that.
for blood. Okay. Okay. That's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's painful. Those stupid paper cuts, they can hurt.
Like I could honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I could probably take someone kind of just like nicking my finger or getting like a shot to the arm. I could probably deal with that, but the feeling of a paper cut is just like
it hurts just to think about it. It's got this different, because it just like slices so deep and is such a tiny little thing. And boy, you feel it. I know. I think I'd rather be stabbed with one of those things to take my blood than a paper cut. Yeah. Don't like that.
I wonder if you could make a horror movie about that. Just paper cuts.
Ooh. Just the
You know,
You know what? You
makes me wonder if there
inspired
hasn't
me. You
already
have
been one.
inspired me.
I was gonna say, just hearing the sound of it would be enough for me to like run out the theater. So,
So do we have? Are we gonna talk about our like favorite
Um,
movies?
I think I've gone through. I mean, there was actually a lot of films. In
Yeah,
this
I already
year.
got like, and these aren't
Um,
even in like, they're not really like in any particular order. They're just my favorites.
Yeah, well, I have 4
I have.
that I list.
I got like 7.
You've got 7.
films.
Holy cow! Okay.
Did
Are
we
you
talk
top
about John
20?
Wick?
Oh yeah,
no.
that's right. This is the first year of John Wick.
I missed. I didn't even see that movie.
well, I loved
Dang.
it.
I meant to introduce you to the first one. I liked.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it ever quite. I understand a lot of people liked 4, and I did enjoy aspects of 4, but it also reminded me of what was great in the first, as far as it. You kind of seen the stakes with the character, and you see like there's a point where like he's gone through all these fights, and he's had to be stitched up. He's relaxing, minding his business, and then this woman comes in and is trying to kill him, and she's hitting him and opening his stitches back up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and you realize that this character is just like really like going through it. And the thing is, even though chapter 4 is fun, it doesn't have those stakes. How many times can I watch this man leap off of a building or get ran into by a car or get like, you lose that. So like I said, I can have fun with it, but I need some realism. Just like stick to the rules that you've established.
Consistency.
Yeah. He fell off a building, at least twice in John Wick 4. And then all the gunfights, as I was saying, and how he's doing donuts and he's able to shoot perfectly, but nobody can hit him. He's got a bulletproof suit, but he never reacts when he gets shot. Nobody hits his hand. Nobody hits his head. He falls down the steps and keeps falling, even after he's hit a landing, and he shouldn't keep going, but he keeps going. That movie ticked me off so much.
You know what that means?
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Okay, so that one was my fault, Sin. I got you ramped up. That one was me. I'll take the.
You were getting ready to say something though.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. As soon as he rolled up to the steps, I was like, okay, now listen. I've been going along with this. I'm trying to hang in there. But I'm like, if you mean to tell me this man is about to like have to fight through, I'm thinking we're about to close out. So now I have to deal with this. And when he went rolling down, I was like, okay.
And kept going and kept going.
Let me go home, please.
Yeah,
don't put me captive.
See, you lasted longer than when he fell off the building and hit the car, and it was like the second time, and I'm like, oh, and then when they shoot this one guy. But then they leave him there, and he's not even dead yet. It's like, why are you walking away from this?
The dude who just kept coming back and just wouldn't
Yeah,
go.
that guy. Why are you walking away from him? He's not even dead. There were so many illogical things in this movie, and I love Keanu Reeves, but boy, I just could not. I was just.
Yeah.
And I think I was annoyed because I hadn't planned to go see it, but then I was on a live stream with Mike. And someone on there was saying that they saw it and it was good and there was more downtime. And I made a last minute decision to go see it that night. And boy, I ranted the whole drive home to Arturo because there was car stuff. So I was bringing him home and I ranted the entire drive home.
Yeah. I think the issue is like.
Yep, I remember that. I remember how mad you were getting. This was reminding me
this movie should just be called Superman versus Daredevil.
Basically.
And you know what that means?
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
Okay, you're
It's never
overdoing it
gonna
now.
end.
It's enough.
Never gonna end.
You're not old enough to be grinded, Arturo.
What was I going to say? That threw me all off.
I was ranting about Daredevil. Okay, go ahead.
No. Yeah, no, I was gonna say the thing is there are some genuinely like objectively speaking, like visually and like with some of the action sequences in and of themselves, there are some actually impressive moments. But it's like rather than kind of leave the moments and let them kind of sit, we have to like stretch it out. So it's not just one cool sequence. It's like 5 sequences, and it goes on for like 20 to 25 minutes. And then like
It
even
gets boring.
even if you take away the realism piece, let's just say this was grounded in realism. Like there's only so many times we can stretch out the same fight before we need to keep the pacing and keep the flow going. And there was no reason. And I love a good long movie. There was no reason for this to be like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I totally agree. It was boring.
It was. I think it was. I
However-
thought it was 3 hours,
It was just short.
and the initial cut was 4 hours.
Oof.
Sorry, what was that, Simon?
I was just going to say, I think it might be easier to appreciate if you like reframe how you see it. Like, it's a showcase for stunts, not a movie. It's just a showcase for stunts. Like the prequel trilogy is a showcase for ILM. They're not really good movies.
Yeah. If you just want to see action, you don't care about the story.
Well,
really
but
weird.
John Wick started off as being about an actual decent story, and then it just regressed into this, and it reminded me of why I don't like the Fast and Furious, like why I haven't, because I know that that's what it has turned into. So yeah. The stunts, the choreography, they were very impressive. I especially like some of the cinematography. Is that fight from where you saw the camera from above? That was really well done. So there was stuff to appreciate about it, but I think because of all that other stuff that just got in the way, I have an overall negative feeling about the movie. Unfortunately. Oh well. That's not even.
But we are
jumping.
we're jumping like years
I know we
ahead.
are. It's so easy to get off track, but it's okay.
Yeah, the first John Wick, I haven't seen it, sadly.
That's a good film.
Yeah, I can watch that anytime.
Yeah. It's sad to know that guy is no longer with us. The fella who played the baddie in there. That was a real surprise when he passed.
Oh, he played a bad guy? I thought he was a good guy.
No, not him.
Is that the same one who played Blomkvist in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, he died a few years ago, and he wasn't very old.
Yeah.
Just like Lance Reddick. That was a shock and a half when he died.
I'm still mad about that.
I know, that was terrible. But yeah. Anyway, okay, I don't think I have. There's another movie that I know a lot of people like, but I've never watched it, called Whiplash. Just looks too.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it. I'm sure the performances are great, but it's just, I guess the subject matter just seems kind of like depressing and
what do you love about
troublesome.
You just never know where you stand with
the old guy. JJ?
Yeah, what's his name?
J.K. Simmons.
JK.
Yeah, you never know where you stand with his character.
Okay.
Until the very end. So you're questioning everything throughout the first half, and then it all finally comes to a head. So, yeah, it ends up being a kind of feel good movie, but
Really? Okay.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Well, it's fun and I enjoyed it. It was a ride.
Sin, I was going to ask you, did you see No Good Deed with Idris Elba and Taraji P. Henson?
No. What's the premise? What's the premise?
The guy is like it's Taraji. She's at home with her daughter. And the
Yes, I've seen that. He's a bad guy in there, right?
Yeah. What did you think of that? Do you remember?
Okay, so I like the premise of the story, but I hate seeing Idris Elba play a bad guy.
Oh, like Denzel Washington. That's the same thing.
It just like Denzel Washington was excellent in Training Day, but I can't stand seeing him play a baddie.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you about it, because it was like as far as the entertainment factor, it was there, but it's like, oh, I'm not used to this at all.
No, don't do that, Idris. I just don't like I prefer to see him as a good guy all the time.
I really want to watch the show with him as a detective.
Oh, you must. Luther is so good. I really enjoyed that movie. Was so disappointed. I mean, the show was disappointed in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, I remember your review, and I was like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. You've seen the show, right?
Oh, have I?
Yeah, have you?
No, I got to start from the beginning.
Dude. Yeah. You must. It's really
I'm
good.
telling you, trying to catch up. It's like
I know.
it really is more so like during the time where a lot of these came about. Like I was deeper into my like movie experience, and television was kind of harder to catch up. Well, to kind of watch because it was a kind of different thing. I feel like now I have a lot more access as far as the type of shows I can watch, and it's still hard trying to figure out what to prioritize.
Right.
But,
There's so much to choose from.
Yeah, and I think that when I found out about Luther, I don't even know if I had access to it. Like I didn't even know how to watch it back then.
Oh.
And then and then it's just like it kind of got away, and then people were like, "Oh, so I have to go back now and work my way through."
It's based on a series of books, and I listened to the first book, I think, after I saw the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the show better than the book.
It's interesting how that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Usually it's better, but sometimes a show or a movie can actually make it can resonate in a different way than a book.
Like Jumper.
Yeah, I'll say that about The Devil Wears Prada. From what I've heard, the book is fine, but the fact that the film has like Emily Blunt and Meryl Streep and just like their take, how they enhance the characters and make them so fun to watch is a lot more like interesting and entertaining than the book is.
Yeah, it's rare. It does happen. The Dexter show, in my opinion, was better than at least the first few books. They're just because it was just so much more. There were all these other characters that it focused on. The books are good though. They're pretty. The way they're written is pretty witty.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Sorry. Here we go again.
Yep.
So I'm looking through other movies. Dave, have you seen Only Lovers Left Alive?
D.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Like you. Sorry. I did not hear. I heard. I thought you were addressing the general thing.
Well, you're the vampire guy.
Yes, I am.
It's a vampire movie?
Yeah, I know the title, but I know I haven't seen it, so I have to add that to the watch list right now.
It's about depressed vampires.
Ooh.
Oh.
Starring Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston, and Mio Wasikowska.
Oh, okay.
And Anton Yelchin and Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, Anton Yelchin.
Bunch of weird Nordic.
Oh my God.
Hi, Sashi.
This is just the cast alone makes me watch this. Yeah. So that's going on. I'll let you know what I think of it.
Cool.
Oh wow! So he was like getting ready for work.
Well, he's over there on the other side of the
world.
I
know that. I just didn't
Yeah.
realize he had to go get ready for work.
Yeah.
I didn't know he owned a shop.
Neither did I, actually. Maybe sometime he'll tell us what type of shop it is.
Man, we're getting everybody around the globe. Woo! And then everybody gets to hear Sin say Corey has the same darkness.
I think we've heard that enough.
Oh no! By the end of this, I got to play it one more time.
You can close out with it. What's that, D?
But if you get angry, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm sorry.
What? He's always coming up with these crazy ones. And they're real. They're real movies.
Did you see the Impractical Joker sketch where it was like they were doing product testing and one of them was like a whistle for your butt or something?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, it cracked. That was a really good one. That cracked because they were trying to be serious about it, and they couldn't.
And it's so hard, and they just can't keep a straight face.
Oh, it was a really good sketch.
Sal has the hardest time.
And it was a red. It was a fart muffler. It was like a tube, but then they played the audio of what it would be like, and it still played the fart sound loudly.
Oh God.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to talk about our top whatever?
I'm ready.
There's a couple more movies we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Gone Girl.
Oh gosh.
I didn't like it either.
I decided I was not going to watch that movie because I had read the one of that girl's first books called Sharp Objects, which was also made into an HBO show.
You loved it.
When I saw that this movie was written by that girl, I was like, nope. And so I did the Wikipedia. Yes, I did. And I was like,
yes,
I was like, I'm so glad I Wikipedia'd this instead of actually watching it because it would have pissed me off. Because she doesn't write likable characters. Like that's why I didn't like Sharp Objects. And I think that's why I wouldn't have liked Gone Girl. What, D? You just like got this look on your face.
No, we've gone into it, so we've talked about the experience. I've read both, and she does write some effed up characters. I must say, I don't know if that comes from. It doesn't. I don't want to just assume, because sometimes it comes from, like, it's drawn from personal inspiration or like people they've known in life, and sometimes it's just like their imagination. So I don't know, but yeah, these are very distinctive characters in both books. I haven't read Dark Places, so I don't know how that book plays out, but definitely in Sharp Objects and Gone Girl, which I've read and listened to recently. Yeah, it was just, there's a lot of layers to those characters. I'll say that.
What did you think about it, Simon?
The movie?
You said you hated it, and why? Was it because the characters? How unlikable they were?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Just was not emotionally invested.
That's how I felt about Sharp Objects. I think where that story totally lost me was when she started messing with that teenage kid.
And I completely had forgotten that. I don't know how, but I feel like when I listened to it, like, because I read it the year, I don't know how many years ago that was, but I read the book, saw the show, and for whatever reason, when I went back and listened to it, I want to say this was probably 2020, or I think it was 2020. I was doing road trips with my mom, and we were listening to audiobooks. But when I listened to Sharp, I was like, she did what?
Yeah.
Completely forget this?
Yeah.
And
then also she knew her mother was poisoning her, and she just kept. It was just like this weird. It was just. Yeah, I did not. So when I saw they were making a show about it, I was like, I'm not watching that. Not gonna watch it. Yeah, it was at that when that part happened with that teenage kid. That was when I actively hated the character at that point. I didn't like her already, but then I actively. Angry. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm not gonna get angry.
Yeah, I'm close.
But I actively disliked her character at that point.
Right.
So.
Okay, a movie I've never seen, but it has Colin written all over it. Under the Skin.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
I have too. Whoa.
That's a strange one.
I actually don't. I read about it. I wikied it because I was like, this looks too creepy for me.
It's very creepy.
It sounded like it was too creepy.
It's different.
It's
different.
Yeah.
That part where, I mean, it's a lot of parts, to be honest. But really, okay, so two things. The most messed up scene, I'm not going into detail, but the most messed up scene to me was the beach scene.
I forgot the specifics. I only remember fragments of it.
I'll just say there's a family on the beach, and a person of a certain age is left behind. And then when you see the person come back later at nighttime, the person of a certain age is still. I'll probably have to send you a message, but it's something you don't expect to see as far as a certain type of person being in peril, and it's really messed up to see that. So I'll send you a message and you'll remember.
Okay.
Should I watch it? Should I watch it? Is it worth watching?
Well,
I wouldn't.
I would.
I don't want that darkness.
You said you would? Is that what you said? You would? So I didn't despise it. It was just, I mean, I have no desire to rewatch it. It was really weird, but there were some, I don't know, like it was weird. It was weird, Simon.
You could watch anything, or you could watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
That sucks.
That's a better.
So is there moral? Is there moral of the story at the end? Like the only person who would fuck a Scottish guy is an alien?
Okay. Do you know what she is? Do you know what the premise is, Simon?
Yeah.
She's an alien.
Yeah.
And she abducts people.
Yeah.
So.
But then she's okay. Go ahead, D.
No. You got it. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. Doesn't she like start to identify with them and sympathize with them?
Yeah, it's like one of those things where she has a certain mission, and it ironically, it's almost like a more abstract version of Species, if you've seen that.
Kind of, it is.
Without the more extra aspects of that film. But but it's about how she starts to see, of course. There are a lot of films like this where you have. I mentioned that also recently. I saw a parallel. It was You Won't Be Alone. And I mentioned Claudia in Interview with the Vampire, and then Joe Black in Meet Joe Black. And you have like these supernatural or like non-human characters who have to kind of grapple with their humanity once they realize like what they lack, and like they kill, or they have the or like they have this there are these entities that usually kill and are compelled to kill, and they do all these things that to remove their humanity. But as they continue to move through life, they realize how they want that and how they want to attach to that, and how significant it is. And so it kind of creates this weird disconnect, and it starts to kind of change them. But I want to say probably in all of those films, save for one, we'll say for two of those, yeah. So like out of those 4 films, 2 of those end in a very tragic way for those characters, and then 2 are able to walk away with a different perspective of life, and it ends up being kind of a darkly good thing. So I think from that perspective, it's interesting to watch as far as like how it explores the idea of an alien and how that would go. But it is some messed up imagery that we can see. So you have to prepare yourself for that.
It's got Scarlett Johansson in it.
It's not super actiony like, let's say, Species was.
No.
It feels like a more cerebral, like you say, or like a more abstract version of it.
Yeah.
It's slow paced, and there's not a whole lot of dialogue in it from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, one, when I realized what was happening as far as the guy in the floor, you know what I'm talking about?
Don't remember.
When she meets up, when she basically like, hey, come back to my place, and then they start walking, and they realize.
Oh, and he's like following her. She walking backwards or something. Yeah.
And then something happens to the floor, and then later on, when they're in that area and you see like something collapsing, it's just a lot of, I don't want to spoil, but it's some really creepy imagery. And I almost flipped out because one of the opening scenes, it does something where they show like, I don't know if it's like a planet, and it's like this huge like sphere or like circle, and then at some point they flip and it's like a giant eye. I don't know if I've said this before.
You and eyes.
I almost went bananas for a second, because it's just like, when it's just something disconnected and it's just like something staring, like that creeps me out so bad. I don't know why it is, but it's just.
Did the Eye of Sauron scare you in Lord of the Rings, or is that too cartoonish?
I think it's contextual, and I think it depends. I think, with Sauron, I think it's a little bit different, and I think what's surrounding it is a little bit different. I feel like when there's like if all of a sudden like this room, like it's all of a sudden there were no lights and I just saw like eyes everywhere, I would probably that'd be creepy. Yeah, it's just the idea of the fact that I just know like it's just these eyes and I can't see anything. But they're all looking at me, so it's like, hey, you see, like that creeps me out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
D in his eyes.
Yeah.
his eye issue.
Yes.
Was there any more, Simon? Because you had.
There's a few, although I may have missed it when I was not there. The Equalizer.
Oh yeah, we did talk about.
We did talk about that a little bit.
We talked about how because the third one's coming out this year, and I didn't like the second one as much as the first one. Did you like Equalizer?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. But it was good.
Godzilla.
Oh,
we did forget to talk about that one.
Talk about it again.
No, I actually did. I forgot that was 20.
Yeah, I forgot about Godzilla. I actually didn't mind that one.
That's the one with Elizabeth Olsen, right?
Mm-hmm. And the guy that played Quicksilver.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that they're in here, and then they play brother and
as
sister.
husband and wife, or boyfriend and then they play
No, they're husband and wife.
Yeah.
It
was directed by Garth Edwards. Did anyone see the trailer for The Creator?
No, I didn't watch it because I'm interested in it, so I don't.
Yeah, it's not the AI.
It looks really good. Yeah.
from what I've heard, the way I've heard people talk about it, it sounds like it's probably going to be really interesting. So I feel like I just want to stay away from the trailer.
Which
I
one?
don't know.
The
Part
creator
of it looks cool because I love anything near future. I love near future stuff. Like I almost but part of me feels like I'm already not sold on the idea of AI playing out like that. Like it's too much of how humans think AI will play out, which is like they'll create robots and it'll be a military thing. I just feel like as soon as they're at that level, they'll get to the next level and the next within a year or 2 years or 3. Like they're just gonna jump way ahead to where they can just gas us or some shit. Like there won't be like we see it as like a battle, like that movie. Like we'll be running around with guns and they'll have people. But I feel like it'll just be way more one-sided if it comes to a conflict. It won't be like, and now as soon as we're at conflict potential, the conflict happens and that sort. I don't know. But the movie does look kind of cool.
When is it coming out again?
I'm not sure. It's in post-production at the moment, so...
Oh, okay. I'm probably 2024.
September 2023.
Oh, this year?
29th, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I'll probably go watch it. And D, I am coming very, very close to actually buying the Regal membership.
Oh, are you really?
Yes, because the Regal, you can see unlimited movies for like $19 a month.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking I might do that.
Yeah, because I want to say, what's the setup for Cinemark?
The Cinemark it's $10 for one free movie a month.
Oh,
plus,
yeah.
Plus, yeah, I watched. So I bought the movie club membership with Cinemark because, well, I like that theater. It's my favorite.
Right.
But it made sense because also when you buy the tickets, the regular, you don't have to pay the regular price. You know, like the regular ticket price is maybe, I don't know, $12, $13. The regular price for through the app, if you're a member, is $9.99. Plus you get off your concessions and then but I don't buy any concessions, but if you earn a certain amount of points, you can get another free ticket. So, you know, I'll probably keep that one actually.
Yeah.
And also the Regal one. And I'm going to go to a Mystery Monday. Mystery Monday something or other at Regal.
Oh, yeah.
You're AMC though, not Regal, right?
No, I'm AMC, but I've gone to the Regal showings, and actually, I still have a Regal Crown Club membership. Technically, I just don't have the actual unlimited subscription thing. I remember getting that because Regal used to do this thing. I don't know if they'll ever do it again, but this had to have been. It was either 2018 or 2019, but they had this thing where if you saw I want to say like these 4 movies that they had out. Then you would get all the digital versions of them.
For free?
Yep.
Oh, that's an excellent deal, though.
Yeah, so I hope they bring that back because I think at the time it was like Truth or Dare. I think it was Breaking In. Was it the first Purge and then another movie? Oh, it might have been the first Halloween. Actually, I think I have all 4 of those on digital now.
Oh, that's really cool. The Mystery Movie Monday thing or whatever it's called. It's an advanced screening of a movie and you don't know what it is until you go.
Oh,
so that sounds
because that's when I saw Paint.
It's Paint, yes. Oh, see, this is what I fear. I bought my ticket for one in June and I fear that it's going to be something really terrible.
But it may not be. It was so heated because I went and saw like 3 different ones and you know, they were fine, but then when they ended up, the one time I decided not to go ended up being Sisu. And I was like, I wanted to see this.
Oh,
so angry.
you missed a fun one.
Yeah.
We are like at 3 hours, so
yeah, I know.
We should. Yeah,
I know Arturo is trying to rein us adults in.
Well, we've got
Even though
3 more.
He's
movies.
an adult. Yeah, we do. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Son.
Lucy. With Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I thought it was pretty terrible, but I don't remember a ton about it.
I remember your brother thought it was stupid, like just the trailer alone.
Yeah.
Another stunt showcase. Really.
Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah. The Theory of Everything.
Oh, that was
We'll have to see it.
Was that about Stephen Hawking?
Yeah.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
I don't think I watched that all the way through. Wasn't there also a movie about was this the year the movie about Turing came out with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Oh, The Imitation.
The Imitation Game.
Yeah, was that
Yeah.
2014? Because I thought someone mentioned it. Was it?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I did watch that.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was sad.
It was very. I didn't know it was going to take the turns that it did.
Oh, well, I knew already because I knew his story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was good. Just I won't watch it again because, but it was worth the watch. Just like The Courier. Have you seen The Courier with him in it?
No.
Yeah, that came out a couple years ago. I saw a virtual screening of it, and I did my movie review right after I'd watched it, and I was not in a good frame of mind. I was very upset and sad. So that was
The Courier.
yeah, it was a true story. That was also a true story.
It's interesting. There's a movie, The Courier, that came out in 2020 and 2019.
Oh, well, this is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch in it.
Oh, I know.
This is not the action one.
Yeah,
there is one.
Yours came out
haven't
in 2020. But when I came up, I was like, "There's two." Yeah.
There's The Courier 2007, 2011, 1988, 2012, 2015.
So original.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think they do a better job of this? Anyway, it's the one with Benedict Cumberbatch in it.
Yeah, the one in 2020.
Yeah, okay. The one based on a true story.
Right.
That was good too.
That's being added to the watch list. Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so to lead us into the favorite movies, I'm going to go with my favorite movie, possibly Colin's as well. I don't know.
Yep.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yep, that's my favorite too.
Yeah.
I hear Simon talk about it.
It was all right. It wasn't my
interesting.
I like how he shot it. Like it looked almost like a toy setup in some scenes.
Yeah.
You had William Dafoe in it. You had oh gosh, you had a lot of names in there. The guy that played Lord Voldemort.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah. Okay.
Rafe Fiennes.
And then the guy that he was in Jurassic Park.
Sam Neill or Jeff Goldblum?
It's the guy with the one with the glasses.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's in it. Heck, the girl from See How They Run is also in here.
Oh, she's in there? I forgot.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also got Ed Norton,
Bill
F.
Murray.
Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
It was
What's his
like
name
dark
from-
comedy in a sense.
Yeah.
But
Harvey Keitel.
I didn't get like whether or not this is like an alternate reality or something because some things just didn't match up with the time period. I'm like, okay, but it was all right.
How to describe like not alternate, but maybe alternate. Just set in that it's a. I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it was trying to rewrite history. It was just trying to be like kind of vague, like European and wartime. Like it wasn't really trying to say more than that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, because I know how accurate some things are, but that wasn't accurate. Like, while they have it set in that time frame, some of the stuff that I was noticing, it's like, okay, well, I see the reference, but I also don't see it. I don't see that, like, the realistic stuff about what happened. Uniforms, like some of the military, their uniforms some of it didn't match, but whatever.
What time period did it take
Supposedly
place?
like set in like 30s.
Oh, and you would know.
Yeah. The only thing that made a reference was like near the end. There was like these guys dressed up in like black uniform, SS, but still it was vague. Like, if it was really our world or not. But either way, it was interesting film, just not my favorite. Maybe if I saw it,
I really liked it
differently.
I just
Who was the director again?
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, yeah.
Okay, that and Okay.
He's one of my favorite directors.
He has a unique way of shooting.
Because he's not cemented in my brain. We talked about him last year. I mean, for the last live stream, didn't we?
Royal Tenenbaums, Moonlight. Wait, what is
Moonrise
it?
Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom. Yeah, okay, that's right. And did he do this?
Isle of Dogs.
Did he do the aquatic?
Asteroid City, Life Aquatic.
Oh, yeah, Life Aquatic and Asteroid. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All his movies have that very colorful, like a toy box, or like very.
That's what I noticed about that movie.
Symmetrical, like artistic framing. All the shots look like they're meant to be looked at as almost like art a lot of the time. I really enjoy that style. Like it's very much, very stylistic. Like look at what it is. It's not all about the story, but I think the stories are always interesting and different as well. And you know, quirky is always it's quirky. You know, it's kind of random and silly and sometimes deep and you know sometimes real human and relatable or sometimes.
I just remembered like one of the funny scenes that happened in that movie was when they came to like arrest the guy, the man, like the main guy of the hotel because of a murder that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like saying, "Okay, well, you know, I will accept my fate and all that." And then he just takes off running, and then he catches the guards off, like takes like the soldiers off guard, like, and then they just start chasing him up the steps, and it's like just that whole frame. It's just that, just that. And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I used to get Wes Anderson confused with Paul Thomas Anderson for a while, which was really confusing when I walked in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did Simon? So wait, was that like your second, or was that like one of your favorites, or is there more?
That was my favorite. My favorite.
My favorite too.
Okay. What about you, Colin? What's your favorite?
No, what's
well, but I don't think he's done with his list. He's probably got more.
Okay, so Grand Budapest Hotel, Whiplash, Edge of Tomorrow, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they go to X-Men Future Past, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, John Wick.
Good year.
Yeah.
I think you like this year, don't you?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
movies
on here, isn't there? Like a lot of the top 10 were blockbustery, like I said, sequel type franchise films. But there's also a lot of them were good, and then there's just a lot of other titles that were very interesting. I think so. I feel like this was a pretty good.
Almost
year.
my favorite list here is pretty much the same. I just have certain ones inserted in there that didn't make Simon's list.
What's your list?
Okay, so Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That one was good. Mockingjay Part 1. Guardians of the Galaxy. X-Men Days of Future Past. Edge of Tomorrow. Captain America Winter Soldier. And Fury.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta see Fury.
Yeah, all of those are you must see that. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on that. I like that movie so much. I feel like doing a review for it because it's been several years since it came out, and just kind of like maybe do like one of like the type of stuff that Dee does, like a short, quick movie review. It wouldn't be out of the theater, but just like something like I did for Avalanche, that documentary called Avalanche, which was really, really good.
It's such a family-friendly movie. Nothing bad happens.
It's brutal, but it's also very
realistic in a way.
Some of those scenes, like that scene with his men in the room with those women, and they're sitting. That was very tense. Just the dialogue and the friction between the characters that was happening, and you just didn't know.
Well, yeah, because like, see, it was also like the message in that whole scene was just showing how war has screwed them up. And you see this young soldier who's going to attach to this woman, how they just come in and kind of like wreck it in a sense, and just showing that they just don't give a crap in the world about anything because of what they've been through. And he's like the guy that's been thrown into it.
Yeah.
So
super good.
Arturo.
Super good.
Do you think you'd be able to kill a man?
And I can't tell if he's just asking as a serious question or if he's just trying to yank his chain or something.
Maybe in self-defense.
Yeah.
Maybe in self-defense. Because have we told them the story where there was a coworker that got fired and he was waiting for me out in the front? I don't think
I
we
don't
have.
remember if we told them that off screen maybe one time.
Yeah.
And
I don't
how your
recall.
your dad and I were coming to pick you up, and he had this big baton he was going to use in case the guy came back after you.
But
I remember
ever since then, I carry a knife at work.
Damn, wait, so a coworker was trying to attack you?
Not that you'll have time to defend yourself, but you have to. Well, hold on a minute. Let me pull this knife out and open it. Okay.
No, I mean it's better than having nothing.
Yeah, the guy was waiting for him.
Why? I can't see.
Oh, there
why
was a lot of
would
reasons
do
why.
anything.
Well,
There was a lot. He was a
so
problem,
he
and
yeah.
he
Well, he
knew
was
that
a
we were
crazy
like
guy.
reporting on him, and
He was a crazy guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So and he had gotten fired, and so he was outside waiting.
yeah.
Wow.
He
And then
just he
they
wasn't
ended
a
up
good
having
worker, and he would make threats, and
yeah,
he was
called
a
us
problem.
snitchers. So
Yeah.
yeah, not a good worker, and they ended up calling the cops over there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Angry.
The cops had to ban him, but then it was like, well, you can ban somebody; they'll still come and cause trouble
he
if they
hasn't
want
come
to.
back since then.
So for a long, long time, I would pull around the side and pick it. This was when he wasn't driving yet. I'd pull around the side and pick him up so he could come out the side door instead of the front. We were paranoid.
Probably
Yeah.
bully too.
Yeah, probably.
It was. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would have to work with him to understand.
Yeah, some people are just
Yeah.
He just.
Anyway.
Mm.
Oh, this got started because Simon asked the
Yeah,
question.
thank you, Simon.
Yeah, the reason I asked was because a lot of people are kind of obsessed with like war and stuff like that. I just always wondered, like, do you think you'd actually?
I
do it?
don't know if I could I don't know how I could mentally handle that atmosphere. I mean, if it came to self-defense, as much as it might mess me up a little bit, that would be better for me to survive an attack than get killed. So I would probably do it only if
Yeah, but war
it's
is a whole
self-defense.
totally different.
War is like
yeah.
a political game. That's all it is.
Yeah, that is.
And I'm tired of it.
Young men go out and basically
Like
sacrifice.
World War II was one thing, but
It's
everything else, I don't know.
There's a scene in Fargo I was watching last night, season 3,
Jesus.
where this guy, he's like, I'm going to be a tough guy and show her what's what and get her to leave us alone. And they meet out in this parking lot. And he's just trying to, like, be mean and bribe her to go away. And then the real gangsters show up. And then they beat the shit out of her. And then the dude who was trying to be tough, he's just standing there like he can't believe what's going on. And I feel like it was a good scene of showing, like, how people who aren't prepared for violence, who think they're being dangerous, and then they see it happen and they're like, oh shit, I'm not.
Oh yeah.
That's how I would be. Like, I already know that I would be there, so I wouldn't even front like, oh, I'm gonna be, because I know, like, yeah, I would be like jaw dropped and that's it.
Well, if I was going to ask you the question, I'd have to change the emphasis in that sentence. I'd have to ask, do you think you'd be able to kill a man?
Oh, man. I think it depends if you have a gun or not. And self-defense, obviously. I've no desire to kill someone for any reason other than self-defense.
Yeah.
And even that, though, it's a way different thing if pull a trigger or, like, than beat someone to death, strangle someone, or repeatedly hit them, and like that's just a whole other. I don't think I would do that. That's past self-defense. Like once you've
Paper cut them to death.
Paper cut them.
Once you've knocked them
Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Threat,
Yeah.
Then I don't see how I would need to kill someone with it, by hand or anything like ever. But like a gun would be like. Self-defense.
Or try to wound them, in a sense.
Right. If you had a gun, you'd probably want to shoot the legs if you could.
Or at least
If
try.
you could, nice.
If that's an
nice.
option.
That's difficult. More difficult than it.
Like,
may seem.
especially if they're
That can kill
moving. If
people,
they're
too.
moving, like,
Harder.
it'll be hard to try to, like, you would just have to kind of shoot rapidly and hit them somewhere. Just so they
Well,
can
Okay,
I'm not
this
really
is
worried
all
about
right.
Like, we're going like. Anyways.
I just want to say that what Colin was saying earlier, it reminded me of something I was going to say earlier when we were talking about Dumb and Dumber. I was going to say, do you remember that part where they're like, do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh God.
No. Hi, I'm Colin, and let me tell you about Fargo for 25 minutes.
Actually, Simon, Fargo's
still
pretty
waiting.
decent.
Yay!
It is. No, I like it. I do plan to continue it. Artur and I have watched at least 2 or 3 episodes by now.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
Yeah,
Oh my-
I can't
was
wait till
waiting.
I get to the one where with that guy in it. The season with that guy in it, because I really like him.
Hansi, Son McLaren.
Yeah, that guy.
I didn't realize Chris Rock
The
was
Indian,
in it.
right?
Say what?
You mean the Indian Son
Yeah, the
McLaren?
Indian guy. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
season 2. He's season 2.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Isn't Chris Rock in one of the seasons? It looks
Chris
like.
Rock's in season 4. He's the
But
lead.
they like
Season
time
4,
jump
okay.
in a different
Yeah,
period.
it looks like it takes place
like
in a
40s or
different.
50s.
Each season takes place a different year, and that season takes place in the 50s. The rest of them are more like within this century.
Okay.
I mean, this 20 years. But I'm glad you guys are like. I was waiting to ask for the TV part, but like I'm.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
love-
We could have
Yeah.
talked. Yeah, it's good. I like the
It's
the
crazy in a
dialogue,
sense.
and it's
Crazy.
the black humor in it is funny.
Black
Yeah.
humor.
Just this twisted, dark. Yeah, it's
Bob-
because it's
Bob
like a black
Odenkirk.
comedy is what it is.
And the killer too. He's just.
Billy
Oh
Bob is
my
so
gosh,
compelling.
Billy Bob Thornton! It's like he's so
He's so fun to watch.
the stuff he says.
He's so bad, and you love watching him. He's the
Okay, so he seems to me like he's somebody who just likes to watch the world burn. Because
he
some
wa-
of the stuff he's doing just seems
He's
like
like
it's
an evil
just
rascal.
he's
like
just like
an
the
evil-
Joker throwing
Kind of,
chaos.
He's kind of like the Joker, except he's
Yeah.
actually a badass assassin. Whereas the Joker
Yeah,
couldn't
he-
really fight. Lauren Malvo is actually dangerous, but he also just likes fucking with people.
Yeah,
he
that's exactly what he's
enjoys
doing.
fucking
He's
with
like
people.
gaslighting the hell out of that one guy
Wait,
with the
it's weird, he
pig
enjoys
blood in the
fucking-
faucet.
Oh yeah.
on a little level, like piss in the gas tank, but then also on a like I'm gonna get you to kill yourself level. Like
Yeah,
he's like
Yeah,
an
he's
evil,
really-
evil man who still
Yeah.
likes just fucking with people, and he's
Yeah.
really fun to watch.
Like that's what he did with the main guy.
yeah,
with the
Martin
whole thing that
Freeman.
happened in like the first episode.
Yeah,
He does
a lot
what
of
he
the
does,
story-
and then he just leaves. He leaves him.
a lot of the story is how Billy Bob fucks up Martin Freeman's life. It's kind of, I mean, that's how it starts
that
it all.
seems pretty clear.
Yeah, that's what he did.
It's-
Have you seen Fargo, D?
Not yet. I heard great things about it though, so it's definitely
Not
Okay.
watched it. You gotta-
Now,
Third
who's
season.
already done their list?
too.
My
I've
list
done
is
my
pretty
list.
much the same as
Go
everybody.
for it.
Well, Fury, Edge of Tomorrow, Winter Soldier, X-Men, Guardians of the Galaxy, and there were some others that you had mentioned that were mine too, but I just
mentioned
didn't write
Hunger
them.
Games and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, those. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's
yours
list
is
is really long. It's just kind of what order they're in.
Say what now? What do you mean?
Everyone's list this year is really long, so it's really
Yeah,
just kind
because-
of what order we put the movies in.
This is a big year.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I could pick a number. Okay, so probably my number one would be the Winter Soldier.
Of course, I already knew that.
Yeah, that would be my number one. But I just like all of these
All
these
right,
movies.
so it's
a
D
lot.
and Colin.
Yeah,
I'll
those. Okay.
And so I only have 4 because there's only 4 that like I love. A lot of the movies you guys mentioned I liked and I watch again. For my top 4 though, and it's really Grand Budapest is the one that I love. And then I would say Guardians of the Galaxy is probably number 2, which is cool. That so far that's since it's on mine, it's on all of our lists so far. And then Ex Machina and the Babadook. Those are my top 4.
I forgot about the Babadook. That's on my list too.
Cool.
All right, D, you're up.
Okay. So I think it goes without saying that it was a great year for comic book films. So pretty much all those are on my list in some form or fashion. Days of Future Past, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Winter Soldier, definitely. But as far as my like concrete list, I'm gonna go with Edge of Tomorrow, Gone Girl, John Wick, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Beyond the Lights, Ex Machina, and The Imitation Game.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Nice.
So you said Beyond the Lights. Did we talk about this?
We didn't. Beyond the Lights is kind of like a lesser known film. I don't know if I feel like you've seen her in something, but I don't know what you would have seen her in. But Google and Batha Raw, and then Nate Parker is basically a film about a British girl who ends up becoming kind of like this superstar. But once she meets him, she ends up having this breakdown, and he meets her like in the midst of that. Something really traumatic almost happens, and as they get to know each other, like he becomes her security, and she kind of starts to reckon with the image she's been forced into as far as the music industry and her mom being this very overbearing manager. So I just really liked what it had to say. It is kind of a romance film, but it has a bigger message to say about, how the music industry is and how people can often get forced into, music and imagery and things like that don't speak to who they actually are and what they want to be. So it was one of those films that just kind of it's kind of a smaller film, lesser known, but it really packed a punch as far as the emotions and just the messaging and all that. So had to include that.
I had never heard of that. I looked her up, and yes, I have seen her. She played in some episodes of Doctor Who. She also played in, this is I think where I remember her face the most, maybe in Loki.
Oh, that's right.
She was the judge lady. But I may have seen her before because she looked familiar to me when I saw her.
Yeah.
So she may have been one of those people that I'd seen in something but didn't recognize her at the time. Okay. Good list.
I was going to respond to a comment I meant to earlier, just when Jeff said he liked Million Ways to Die in the West and Neighbors. And he mentioned me, and I think we talked about it before. I guess he wasn't here. I didn't really like Million. It was all right. I thought I would love it though, and I was just like, thought it was okay. Neighbors, I don't think I liked it that much. I don't even remember it. So, I guess I wasn't very happy, but I had to respond. And I wanted to ask Jeff too if he had seen Fargo or if anyone in the chat.
I guess we might as well get to the TV show. So yeah, we can talk a little bit more about Fargo.
Colin wants to talk about Fargo.
Let's go.
Eventually, everyone but Simon will have seen it, and then he'll have it.
No,
I'm still
freaking me out
through
with
some of the shows right now.
Your obsessive nature.
I'm an obsessive nature.
Has anybody watched?
Like you said on Discord. Well, because you asked so nicely, no.
Oh.
Has anybody seen True Detective?
Yes.
Yes.
It's solid. Not as good as Fargo, but it's really good. It's along the same lines.
Okay, what about Gotham?
I have not seen Gotham actually.
Gotham's pretty good. I keep telling myself I need to get back. I think I watched 1.5 seasons. And
Arturo, we need to make a slowdown clip of Colin talking about Fargo.
Oh yeah.
So I have to head out, you guys, but it was a great chatting with you as always.
You got to take off. Yeah. Did you try to message us this in the private chat and we didn't see? Oh yeah, you did.
A second ago, so you're
sorry.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
okay. Well, glad you could join us for almost the whole.
Put Fargo up at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Glad you could join us, D. Thank you so much.
Before you go, D, one last thing.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
That's enough.
I know, Sin. I'm not making this any better, but it is. Oh, that is a good laugh for me. Okay, I know you're tired of it.
Thank you, D. Look forward
to
the next
Halloween
one.
Ends review.
Whenever we can do our watch party, we'll try to figure something out for the Arnold documentary and also for the that crazy zombie one.
Yeah, and
Army of the Darkness, whatever.
Yeah,
Army of.
I'll send you some more messages about Under the Skin for things you didn't remember. So
okay. All right.
See you guys.
Later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Did you know Jimmy Fallon's show started this year?
No, I didn't. Gosh, it feels like it's been around longer than that, though. Okay.
Crisis? It's got the girl, I think, from X-Files.
No, I didn't. I never saw that one.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, and Turn. Washington Spies.
Turn was a good show. I like that show.
Akame ga Kill.
Oh, that's how timely. We just met that girl.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Did anyone else watch True Detective though?
Sin has.
I did.
I haven't.
What did you think about it, Simon?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Prisoners, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, just kind of a cult kind of
Oh, but especially the first season. How do
Yeah.
you
The second season sucked.
Yeah, it was okay. I
I don't
didn't
think
hate
it
it.
sucked.
I
I think
didn't
it
hate it. I
was
didn't
okay.
like it as much as the first season.
I think comparing it to the first is
But what about was it
The
third
third
one or
season,
fourth?
I like the third season as
Wasn't
I
that
well.
like with
not nearly as much as
Muhammad Ali?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think the first, though, neither the second or third came close to the first season, which the first season was nearly perfect. And I'm not even kidding. Okay, this is the last time I'll bring it. But I remember in 2014, Fargo and True Detective got talked about alongside each other a lot because they were both kind of like dark crime shows that were kind of cinematic and really well written. And got a lot of TV critics. They were both talking about them, and I love them both. And I love that they were both anthology seasons. And then I felt like True Detective, I started losing interest in the following seasons, whereas Fargo kept it going. But both of them opened with like a 10 out of 10 season one. And yeah, True Detective, I love how the creepiness and the mystery how it builds. And that one shot, that one scene with the long one shot in like the gang was at LA and the neighborhoods and the gangs are coming for them, and all of a sudden it's like they're trying to get away, and it's this really long unbroken shot. Oh man, that is a really cool, intense moment. It was really well.
I forgot about that scene. I only remember fragments of it, but I do remember how much I liked it.
Yeah,
that was really good.
And I like both the Woody Harrelson I like a lot. Matthew McConaughey is pretty cool, and that was like a perfect role for him. It's like
Oh, they were in that?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
And
they were the first in the first season.
Yeah.
But then but didn't they tie the first season into the third season, because you were mentioning about like Mahershala Ali's like character finding like whatever piece of whatever the killer was leaving or something. Like they tied that in.
I don't know if they did, but it's really it's an anthology series where each season stands alone, basically. Like it's a new cast, new setting. You don't have to have seen any other seasons. And so I would, highly recommend you watch the first season, Arturo. First season, classic television. Really great crime.
Should I skip the second season then and just go straight to season 3? Or?
You could. Season 2, I don't think it's bad, but it's just okay.
Not as good as
want it to be. It's nowhere near as good as season 1. Like I think it's still better than like NCIS or your average television show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's still like I was interested watching it. Like I didn't think it was terrible.
That was Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah, Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn. It had some cool moments, but overall, like it wasn't nearly as good as the first season, which was just like nearly perfect. I felt like. And maybe a little bit slow, but it felt like it was meant to be slow. And some of the scenes were fucking really good too. Like fast.
So Sin, remember the documentary that Jeremy Renner's narrated, The World Wars?
Oh, is that when it came out? I don't think we ever. I don't think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Did we watch that? I don't remember.
Yeah, we watched it. I think we went to your dad's house, and even your brother was here one time.
Dang, that is completely left my memory.
Oh, Apocalypse World War One came out this year. Okay, I've always heard those series were good. Oh, Black Bullet.
A show I haven't watched but I'm interested in. Has anyone seen Outlander?
I saw maybe one episode of it, and my parents,
my mom,
have been watching it, which is funny because that does not seem like the type of thing they would watch.
It's my mom's
they don't like some of the physical stuff that's shown, but
it should be a family-friendly show.
I think they mostly like it for the history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's why your dad liked Turn. Star Wars Rebels came out this year, which I have not seen.
But going back to Outlander, it feels like after Outlander came out, because it was based on these books and everything, it feels like after that came out, that all these other sort of books came along about women that were transported back to 16th century Scotland or Ireland or England.
That's almost like an isekai thing.
Yeah. I think it's my mom said, my mom's read all the books, and she said that they're really well written, and it's for if you like historical fiction, that would be the draw because it really there's a lot of good details that like make you feel like you're in the time period, and it goes in different time periods. So, and I watched a bit of the show with her. There's some kind of cool scenes, but there's too much like romanticism for me. I just get bored with that, so
I'm not entirely into
I just have a
romance
question for Katrina Wolf.
Oh yeah.
On who? The main actor, the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be if you have a crush on it. It seems you might like it. Then,
Yeah, you might. I think you
Sonic
probably
Boom
see
came
plenty
out
of
this
her.
year.
Yeah.
No.
Sonic Boom.
Oh, okay. Now you're interested
Oh.
now. I'm not even looking at the list, so I'm just gonna listen to what you guys.
I will say BoJack Horseman. I watched season 1. Did any of you 3 see it?
No, I've never seen it. I've heard it was good,
Then do you remember?
but it's not something I'm.
Well, BoJack. Can I say real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
BoJack Horseman. Like I thought season 1, it started off pretty funny, but it went for like 4 or 5 seasons, and each season it got more serious, and it got serious in a way that I thought was real. It got serious like an LA hipster kind of way, like isn't life? What meaning is there in life where we just do drugs and party and have sex all the time, and I just feel empty inside? I'm like, this was a comedy about animals like being goofy, like, and it really got to me. That shit to me is so lame. That kind of like I don't know, like college philosophy for like Americans, like young party Americans that are like, what is life about anyway when you're not partying all the time? And it's like,
this is why Colin kills.
No, no. But BoJack, it tricked you because it starts. Season 1 is lots of like we're animals, and so there's dumb jokes about how we're all like you're a horse and I'm a bird. But then season 2, it's like I have a drug problem and I just can't hold down a relationship.
Okay.
How did this show become this show? It's really weird. So I
Sounds
thought
like a big tonal shift there.
Really, yeah, weird tonal shift.
There's another show that started this year. I haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure no one's seen it, apart from maybe Colin. 90 Day Fiancé.
No.
Okay. I think I've heard of it. But
Do you remember Noragami? Sim?
what?
I want to see that.
Wait, what? Noragami?
I remember you sending it. I remember you shared Noragami thing to me and
Is that an anime?
Well, yeah, I remember you were like sharing it around one point. Either you tagged me or Arturelia.
Maybe because I thought it was something that would interest you.
Looked,
I don't
it looked,
think I've seen it.
Then Fate's Day Night Limited Blade Works came out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Have anybody seen Mike Tyson Mysteries? The cartoon?
That started? Oh, I love Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Okay, so wait, what's the premise of that?
It's a cartoon of Mike Tyson.
Oh, it's a cartoon. Okay.
Mike Tyson
it's an adult
voice. He does the voice. It's actually a part of it. It was an Adult Swim, like 15-minute cartoons. And Norm Macdonald did the voice of Pigeon, a talking pigeon. Because in real life, Mike Tyson loves pigeons.
Right,
and raises
yeah.
pigeons.
Yeah.
And so in the show, they had like the mysteries. A pigeon would fly in with a mystery on its thing. And Norm Macdonald was this really foul-mouthed, dirty talking pigeon that lived there. And it was I watched it just because Norm Macdonald was Pigeon, and it made me laugh a lot just his foul-mouthed like pigeon ways. It's worth watching just for Norm.
Oh, You're Lying, April.
Huh?
That's a depressing one.
Oh. Okay.
Has anyone seen The Leftovers?
No, I heard it was good, but I heard it was a little too serious for me.
Is that the one where the people? I'm getting that confused.
Synopsis goes: 3 years after the disappearance of 2% of the global human population, a group of people in New York community try to continue their lives while coping with the tragedy of the unexplained nature of the event.
Didn't COVID kill about 2% of the COVID killed about 1%, and I feel like no one cares. No one's sitting around like, what do we do now? Everyone's like, the man.
Yeah, because of all the old people, so no one really gives a fuck.
Bosch started this year.
Bosch! I like that show. I like the books it's based on, and now it's got a spinoff that
Lincoln Lawyer.
that we haven't. No, not just Link. It's another. It's called Bosch Legacy, and Mama and I, we started watching it, and then you started getting your Sundays off, so now we haven't watched it anymore since then. Or your Sunday afternoons off. So then you and I watch movies.
She must have really enjoyed Fury yesterday. It was such a family experience.
Garfunkel and Oates.
Is that the one with the two young comedians?
Kate McCutcheon. I remember her name because it's
yes,
McCutcheon.
Yes, Kate McCutcheon and the blonde one. Yeah. I think I saw some of that. I like it. They were funny. I saw something else they were in. I didn't see all of it. If that's the show.
Ricky Lindholm.
Okay. Also, a show is pretty funny on HBO comedy, Silicon Valley. Anyone see that?
Heard of that?
Heard of that?
Not watched it.
It's pretty funny.
I haven't seen as many shows as I have movies.
Yes.
There's a few shows I've recognized I recognize a few shows.
Yeah.
I will say this. Sen, we were watching Toonami at this time when Attack on Titan was airing.
Yeah. Yes, because I remember.
And Aurelia would be with us.
That's right. I miss watching that show. I want to get back to it. Now you have Crunchyroll, so we can finish it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember when Hellsing came on Toonami, and I'm like, woohoo!
I remember Hellsing coming on. That was
3 in the morning.
No, but I remember it was a really sad time when they were playing one of the last episodes.
Oh, the last episode, yeah.
Our pet had died that day, I think. So that was a sad day. It is a good show. Oh, Wahlburgers?
That's what got me into vampires.
I didn't realize that was 2014. Okay, I've never seen that.
I want to go eat a Wahlburger. They got one in town now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I've only heard. I don't even know if we have any in.
Well, how do we rate this year? Excellent.
I like this year. I think this is a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an 8 or a 9.
Excellent. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Excellent.
Definitely more. Definitely.
7.
What's that?
Giving it a 7.
Give it a 7.
But I feel like you guys.
But Fargo.
Well, that's for TV. If we're including TV, then it's a 10.
But
definitely
movies?
just Fargo.
Right.
For movies, so you only give it a 7 for movies?
Yeah, it's above average. I mean, you got to remember there's 6 ratings below that. It's above average. But I mean, I got to reserve the 9s and 10s for the rarities. I mean, it's pushing 8 here. I'm being conservative with the set.
So what year is a 9 or a 10?
7.5.
Yeah, what year do you think would be a 9 or because have you had a 9 or a 10?
2006. I remember that year.
Oh, I remember that.
That's
2006 was a 9 or a 10. Okay.
That's a 10. That's a 10. So to me, that would be the year. But everyone's different, though.
Well, I remember liking
99 would be a 10.
I like 97 a lot. I
can't throw out 9s and 10s every other year.
Like 2012 was
well, it's not. I don't usually throw out 9s and 10s myself.
I just say
I just think this one was a pretty good year.
You guys seem to all like. I mean, 7 best. I mean, you guys seem to like this one a lot. It's a very solid year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving.
And I remember, I remember it. I was like,
what 8.5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I remember, like, I was 18 at the time, so I got to see all these Reddit R stuff.
That's right. You were old
and
enough.
We went to our first con.
That's right. 2014 was our first. Oh, the Will Wheaton Oh, okay. I remember hearing about that, but I never saw it.
You know, June 6th is coming up, and usually that's like the anniversary of D-Day. And I'm thinking, man, next year it's going to be 80.
Yeah,
it's almost
that's
80.
Crazy.
Can you imagine, like, within a few more years, it's going to, like, that whole decade will turn 90. I was already like, wow, with 39 turning 80 back in 2019. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I still haven't seen Saving Private Ryan.
Nope, you still haven't seen it. I think, you know what you should do? For the 80th anniversary, you need to do a reaction to that scene.
I know people have told me to react to it. I
It was
just haven't.
80 years now.
I'm not always in the mood for that sort of thing.
I mean,
It
it's
just
bloody,
depends.
it's gory, it's
The opening scene, the D-Day invasion,
Yeah.
Normandy
gory.
Beach.
Mhm.
It's gripping. Though.
Okay, so
It's gripping. You can't look away.
Is it how does it rank next to Fury? Some of the stuff we saw in Fury, probably more because there's a lot of it.
Okay, I know Fury had moments, but to me they don't like bother me or anything. Omaha Beach, that scene, it was going for more realism. But all the gore and stuff that I was seeing, I've been consumed by so much of that stuff, even like real raw footage, that it just does not like hit me like maybe it might hit Colin. It doesn't like the gore.
Yeah.
Because I've been exposed to that so much now. It's like, you know, that's just part of war.
If you saw something like that in real life, I don't think that would. I don't
Probably,
think it would.
Thing.
Yeah, I think.
But
it would
you know, it's like I mean, I know it happened, but it's like film effects.
Right.
I think it would probably. I think I would say it would be more gory. I think it would be more gory.
Sorry to see you go.
Unscribing. Yeah, like I think it would maybe that one is more gory than Fury.
Yeah,
Just
there
because
were some.
you see the beach scene,
There's
you see
this
the guns
long.
ripping.
Yeah,
It's just like a constant
extended scene
long
of this. Yeah.
battle, and that's all it is for the opening.
My grandfather
Until they get
was
to
in
the
that.
top.
Your
grandfather was there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was in the Queen section of Sword Beach.
Oh, but you guys didn't get it as bad.
Did
You
you?
made
Well,
You made it back, or would you not be here if you didn't make it?
He made it back, yeah.
And
He was a
did
sergeant
talk?
in the Royal Irish Rangers. He never talked about it.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Say,
He was actually demoted at one point, and we don't know why.
Oh.
Man.
I wonder if it got to him.
My grandfather was in World War II as well, but he served in the Philippines, and he never really talked about the stuff that he saw and went through until he got Alzheimer's. And then he started telling us all these stories.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, I've never heard these things before. And he was a conscientious objector. And but he wasn't like on the front lines fighting, but he was still there. He was still shot at several times. And he was telling a story of when the kamikazes attacked their ships and him seeing the bullets bouncing off the deck of the ship as he was going down under. It was crazy.
Well, then don't we have another family member from your dad's side?
Yes,
Uncle.
he was there.
Was he a medic or was he?
No, he was cook. He was a cook on one of the ships.
Well, yeah, but I thought his dad's brother.
No. I'm sorry. He might not have been on. He might have been on the base when it was attacked, Pearl Harbor, because that was when he said
he threw his pots and pans and ran like
hell.
Yeah. But I thought his uncles, like two of his uncles, one was under Patton, and then the other was like what, a medic. In the.
Are you talking about mom's uncles?
No, wait, was it mom's?
A lot of people in my mom's family.
Who was the one that was a medic?
I don't know.
Was that on your mom's side? Or
I think maybe on my mom's side.
Okay, but then the one on your dad's side was under Patton, right? That met his wife over there.
Oh, met his wife in France.
And
then one of them was the one that went to go recapture some German prisoners that escaped.
Oh,
anyway, okay, all right. Well, that was a.
What about you, Colin? You have any ancestors that fought in that war?
World War II? Probably on my. Actually, yeah, my dad's dad. I don't think he fought. He did something though, because he met my dad's mom because of the war. Because she was born and lived in England, and he was there because he served, but he didn't serve on the front lines. He was he was a little dude. He did some kind of like technical thing. I know on my mom's side, some of my family served in Vietnam. One of them like was MIA, went down in a plane.
Oof.
But like on my dad's side, they're like recent to America. But my mom's side, she's done Ancestry.com and stuff. We've been here since like 1600s, like before
Dang.
the revolution, like old fucking.
Oh, just like us.
1800s at least, yeah, but yeah, a long ass time.
Wow.
So I'd say, yeah,
Interesting.
on my mom's side, they've been fighting in wars, probably good and bad.
Mm.
Do we want to talk about things for 2015? We're almost running out of
Yeah.
time.
I don't know. Like
Wait, no,
I coursed the last Hunger Games.
Or anything I recommend would get in the way of Fargo, so I'm done. I'm so glad you guys are watching that though, and that sounds like you are interested.
Yeah,
enough
I
to
do
keep
like
going.
it. Yes,
Just wait
I will
until-
continue.
Just wait till Key and Peele show up. That's right.
Key and Peele are in there?
Oh yeah. Just wait.
Are they in the
No,
one with Chris Rock?
No, in season 1. They're not
Key
like
and Peele are in
stars.
season 1?
Yeah, they're supporting. You know, it's not like they're in every episode. They're in a few episodes.
Oh, I definitely don't think we've run into them yet.
That's later on. No, it's like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy, are they comedic in there?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I love Key and Peele.
yeah, it's awesome. That's another reason it's awesome. Like
That's true.
a
That's
good cast.
exactly true. You're right. This was appropriate talk for Memorial Day.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it was.
Arturo and Sin, we need your overall rank or your overall
Oh,
rating
yeah.
for this year.
Oh, I had mentioned I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9.
Okay, 8.5.
Oh, I said it was excellent.
Yeah, but you didn't give it a number
Excellent
rank.
is a
Arturo.
nine.
I go. That's my rating now. I
Okay.
use words.
Excellent
Collins is
counts as
7.
9 though. 7,
Collins is 7.
8.5,
and Simon's
8.5,
an
and a 9.
Mhm.
And 2015. No, I
Yeah,
can't recommend anything.
What's
I'm
going
just-
on in 20? Yeah, but you could recommend movies.
The Martian. Have you seen that?
I have seen
Martian
that, but
Man?
Arturo has.
I have not seen that.
No, it's
You'll
just
enjoy
called
that.
The Martian. That's really good. I have been meaning actually to gosh, I can't type and talk at the same time, y'all. I've been meaning to listen to the audiobook of that because I heard the audiobook was really good.
The
trying to think.
author, Andy Weir, also did a really good short story called The Egg.
The
You might
Egg.
want to check out. Yeah.
Okay. I think he
Um,
wrote another story not long ago, maybe that my brother Tim said was really good as well. But I don't remember what it was.
My favorite movie of the decade, which I know you don't like, Fury Road.
Oh gosh, no. I don't like that movie at all.
Arturo, have you seen Fury Road?
I don't think he
Watch
has.
Fury Road. That's my favorite movie of the decade. Top 10
There's-
of all time.
There's also Legend. Looks like it's got Tom Hardy.
Have you seen
Legend.
Ex Machina, Arturo?
No,
No.
he has not.
Definitely
Sicario.
Wait.
Sicarios good.
Oh yeah, Sicario.
Oh,
Watch that.
Sicario
Does
is
that have Emily?
excellent.
That looks like Emily
Dennis,
Blunt.
Dennis,
Yes, it
Denis-
is.
It is.
Denis Villeneuve.
Oh,
That's his film.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
That was an
What?
excellent. That was
Oh,
an excellent.
Okay, then we got to watch that.
Yeah, I
then.
want to rewatch Sicario.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Um,
mind rewatching that, and also The Martian. Then there's also Hunger Games. Spectre,
Yeah.
you can skip. Spectre was terrible.
Uh,
I actually think the only Tarantino movie, I won't say it's bad, the only Tarantino movie I did not enjoy is The Hateful Eight. I
I
watched
actually
it.
didn't mind that.
Oh.
I liked
movie.
it.
Yeah, I thought it was
I liked
good.
it.
I watched it twice to make sure, and I think it's just me because I don't think it's a bad movie. I just couldn't
is
get
just
into
you.
it. You know, all
It's
those other-
Reservoir Dogs with a budget. Basically.
It's what?
Reservoir
Reservoir-
Dogs with a budget.
Yeah, yeah.
The Relevant.
The Revenant.
Revenant.
Really
The Revenant. With,
Oh, I
think
have
it's
not
really
watched
good.
that.
You've not
We watched that?
it?
No.
Why not?
why?
I don't know. It just looked
It's
like
great.
there's. Okay, is it Martin
If, it-
Scorsese?
if you're talking
Is
about
it?
gore or blood,
It's not,
no,
is
it's
it?
not. It's Alejandro Inarritu.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a Spanish speaking
Dude,
guy,
of
right?
all the stuff we've talked about worst movies here tonight. Saving Private Ryan is 10 times worse than The Revenant.
Then The Revenant.
If you
I
can
think-
watch
okay.
the storming of Normandy, there's nothing in The Revenant half as bad as
So
that.
okay, but part of it was just also Leonardo.
You don't like Leonardo?
No, it's not that he just doesn't excite me too much. I have more appreciation for him than I used to, but he just not like, oh, Leonardo's in it, I want to see it. Not usually.
Yeah, but I heard that movie was
Well,
like
that's
a
fair.
top
I've heard
for a
it was
while.
good.
That's
I've heard
fair
it was
because
good.
he is a lot of the movie is Leonardo.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy has a great role though. I think he's got an interesting
Oh, you're talking.
good role in that.
Wait, did you
I
reply
did.
to?
I did Wikipedia it years ago, but I don't remember all the specific details.
Really
So
gotta-
if I watched it,
Bridge of Spies, I really want to watch. That's during the Cold War,
Bridge
the
of
Berlin
Spies,
Wall.
right?
Oh, The Gift. What's this? Oh,
Is that the one with Joel Edgerton? I think
maybe.
he wrote or directed that or something
Knock
like that.
Knock. Oh, Knock Knock
Okay.
has Keanu Reeves and Adam De Marmis.
Wait, who?
Knock
Oh
Knock.
no, I've heard that was pretty doggone bad.
Dark
One of the
Place.
best films of all times released this year, The Green Inferno.
Wait, no.
That was I saw that. I was like, wait. Isn't that what was based on like the Cannibal Holocaust or inspired by the Cannibal Holocaust? Yeah.
It's the one where the girl shits herself.
Okay, I saw it once. I don't remember that scene, but yeah, I remember it was pretty nasty.
It's an Eli Roth movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roth.
okay.
I think he goes for shocking.
He does.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some pretty good, interesting movies I wouldn't mind watching.
The Loft?
Shocking
No.
just feels like, I don't know, that shit gets old as soon as you're not a teenager. Like once you're 20, like how is that shit cool? Like how are people in their 40s and 50s like, I'm gonna shock them with murder and dark shit? It's like, Jesus.
But that's
like,
because you're a murderer. You've been
No.
killing since you were 20.
No. I think it seems real immature when like old dudes are trying to shock people with that shit. I don't know. That's how I see it.
The Kingsmen, Arturo. The first time.
Oh
the
yeah, that
Kingsmen
would
came
give
out.
us an excuse.
I wrote that down.
And
The
you
Man
know
from
what?
Uncle
When we
was
get to
okay.
2019, we need to rewatch The Gentleman.
That was a good movie. What was that, Simon?
The Man from Uncle.
Oh yeah, The Man from Uncle. Arturo, did you ever watch that the whole time?
No.
Because remember we started watching it. Then I had to go pick up Matt from the airport. That's a Guy Ritchie movie, and it's got Henry Cavill in it, and it's pretty good. I wouldn't mind rewatching that.
Isn't that the one about the spies?
Yes.
Oh, we watched that. I remember.
Oh, you
Timothy
saw
and
it all the way
Maris-
through?
Isn't that the one where like it's like based off of a show from the 60s?
TV show, yeah. Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't mind rewatching it again.
Oh, It Follows. Came out in 2015. I mean, 20. Wait, 2015.
Yeah.
But it's listed here on 2015 as well.
Oh, weird. Huh.
You know, some of the movies do that. So I'm.
And Terminator Jenny Smith.
I didn't mind that movie. I mean, I thought it was decent.
I liked it okay. It's it's definitely not the best, but I liked it okay. There's a movie with Liam Neeson called Run All Night, and I don't remember if I've seen that. And that's got a pretty good cast. It's got Joel Kinnaman, Common, and Ed Harris. Maybe I have seen that.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, there's a few here.
Well, Arturo, I the only thing I would recommend over Fargo is like Fury Road, because I put that on an equal footing as Fargo. It's a 10 out of 10. Perfect entertainment.
I need to zoom up on Sin's face and just like show. Actually, before we end tonight, one last thing.
Corey has the same darkness that he does, and he lets him freaking go.
There we go. Now I'm satisfied.
Corey.
Has anyone seen Paddington?
Someone mentioned Paddington in the
Yeah.
comments earlier, and why have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it. It actually, Paddington 2
I've heard
replaced... Yeah, it replaced, I can't remember if it was the IMDb list or the Rotten Tomatoes list as the top-rated movie of all time.
I remember hearing that.
That became a joke in a movie or
It's like
something.
no one can find anything bad to say about it.
It was like a recurring joke in this movie where this guy talking about Paddington 2 was the best movie ever made or something like that. And I just never watched it because the concept
so
just looks,
funny.
I don't know. I just was never interested.
It is ridiculous.
This bear.
That Paddington 2 is the best reviewed movie. A sequel to a kid's movie about a stuffed bear that talks.
I know.
Is the best that humans get. It's that we can all agree that that's the best we can do as storytelling.
I mean, maybe it is decent. I have no idea, but I've just never been interested to. No, so Ex Machina is also listed as a 2015 film, Colin.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's just so weird. Okay, I guess we should
But
probably wrap up soon.
Yeah, it's got like one.
I think
Sorry,
we should watch
Simon.
Paddington exactly because we have mixed feelings about the whole thing.
I know. I just don't know.
The Citizen Kane of our time is Paddington 2, and we need to decide if that's right. Is it really? I don't know.
You know what
Also,
I should
Big
do?
Short is worth watching.
We should say goodnight to everybody, and as soon as I'm playing
Don't.
Glory of the Same Darkness, I end the
Then
broadcast.
just hit it. I'm going to hit in broadcast as soon as you play it. Go ahead. Bye, Glenn.
Well,
Thank
bye,
you for
everyone.
joining us. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. This was great. See y'all.
Glory has the same darkness that he does. Any